I hope you all are locked the f in, because today we're watching this 3-hour, almost 3-hour video called The Actual History of Bloons. I have a feeling at the end of this, we are gonna unlock true monkey knowledge. We would truly know who is responsible for all the monkey business, and we'll finally know who the fuck is sending all these balloons to my island. Like, where are all these balloons coming from?
Hello everyone,
Hello,
I
Mr.
have
Orange.
one question for you. How many Bloons games are there?
No
It's
clue.
a simple question really. Bloons TD6 has a 6 in it. Therefore the answer is 44. There is
Okay.
44
I mean,
Bloons games.
I would
And the
have guessed
service-
like 10 perhaps. 44 is actually insane.
It seems absurd. How do you make 44 games
Holy
out of
shit.
a monkey throwing darts at balloons? But when you look into it, an interesting story is revealed. Some of these games are cornerstones in Flash history.
Whoa! Which Bloons game is this? This looks so wacky.
And other games have
the
become
monkeys look
lost
so funny.
media. Some of these titles show us the benefits of good community interactions, while others are a lesson to never release your games unfinished. Otherwise you'll get something that has only lost players since launch. This
Yikes.
is the history of Bloons, and it all started in 2006 when two brothers, Chris and Stephen Harris, decided to start creating video
Oh,
games.
such a cute shirt. That's a Bloons shirt, right? That is so cute. I would love that shirt.
So the two went on to create the greatest game of all time, Cash Sprint.
Okay.
And this game is very bad. The music is annoying, the controls are weird, and there's
Man, this is
absolutely
like the
nothing
most
stopping you
2006
from
game
driving
I've
out
ever
of
seen.
bounds. They tried making a few more Flash games, but none of them really took off. And so, in a bit of desperation, Steven turned to the smartest, most experienced game person he knew, his wife, and asked
Hell
her
yeah.
what game he should make
W
next.
wife.
The response was, make something like the carnival game where you throw darts at balloons. 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 This immediately set off sparks in Steven's brain, and 90 minutes later, the monkey was born.
Hell yeah, W wife. If he didn't have the wife, we wouldn't have Bloons.
Bloons isn't a tower defense, but a game where a monkey throws
These are from your time, Mexi? True. I was like 4 years old when it was 2006. I remember playing Flash games. I used to play a lot of Flash games in that website called, what was it called again? Something with M. It started with M. And it had a bunch of Flash games. It had RuneScape. That's where I found RuneScape. Why can't I remember? That's where my brother found RuneScape, and that's where our addiction started. And then we got scammed a bunch of times in RuneScape, but we still love the game.
born. The original Bloons isn't a tower defense, but a game where a monkey throws darts at balloons. And believe it or not, Bloons is a puzzle game. You only have a limited amount of darts, so shooting them in the correct direction with the right amount of force is important.
So
This
it
game has
started
balloon
like a
that sprays
pinball
tags
game.
when popped,
Like
another
one of
one that
those pinball
explodes, and another
shooting
one that
games.
freezes balloons around them, making them unpoppable. If you thought that sounded bad, there's also two types of walls, and these stupid rubber blocks. The rubber block is by far the most infuriating object in this game. The 14th level requires you to bounce a dart through a maze of sorts to pop the balloons. Simple, right? Well, that's what I thought about this game until I reached this level. Not only do you have seemingly
BB
no
tag
control
shooter,
over where
true.
the dart goes, but in order to beat the level, you have to pop 95% of the balloons. Even if you get most of the balloons, you can still fail because you missed a few at the end. Luckily, I eventually managed to beat it and progressed to the boomerang
This looks
stages, where you have
annoying.
a boomerang. I'm very conflicted on this.
You can really see the initial ideas were there with the freezing, which and the frozen balloons can't be popped by the normal darts, and then the boomerang. The initial ideas for the monkeys were right there, like from the
On
beginning.
one
That's so
hand, there's a
cool.
lot of creative looking levels, like the one where you light a fuse to a bomb, or the ones with clever solutions, like the one where you freeze balloons at the top and then bounce your dart across the ice, or you just turn into Pac-Man. But for every
What?
cool level, there's two more that are downright sadistic. In level 26, you have a single
You can download these games at the archive. We might try them. These
Single
look
dot-
interesting. Like, it would be really cool to try out like every generation of Bloons games like at least once, if I can pay for them, because I think the new games are still on Steam, so I would have to buy them. We'll see. That might
And
be a
your
good
goal is to
future
pop
video idea.
63 balloons. In theory, your dart should bounce around the box and pop every single balloon, but that just doesn't happen. The strategy that worked for me was to fire a dart behind me, make it bounce on the wall, pop the balloons as it passes my monkey again, and pray it makes it down the hole on the right. This should be easy, but just like the maze level, I spent a lot of time
Yeah, this
aimlessly
looks
shooting
annoying.
darts, hoping that my
But kind of
plan would
fun.
work. And
I've
eventually,
played games like
just
this.
did its
I
thing.
like a
It feels
challenge.
it's up to random chance more than it is about anything I do. Just look at level 30. After bouncing your dart off the frozen balloons and into the bombs, you win! Lose. That's right, you lose.
What?
You suck. I genuinely do not know what to do here. It feels like I'm missing a game mechanic or something. So, you know, I went, oh yeah, hang on, let me look at this tutorial from 2007 and see what the answer is. And then it's just this, like, what is that? This can't be how you play the game. Since Bloons
What?
became an instant hit, a sequel was made within 4 weeks to
So
capture.
are you not allowed to pop the balloons on the right? Is that a rule? But then the game didn't
Since
say
Bloons
that.
became an instant hit, a sequel was made within 4 weeks to capitalize on this new audience. It introduces the lightsaber balloon, which pops balloons horizontally. The game has a few cool levels, but nothing too special to set it apart from the first one.
We
It did
didn't
make
get a
me realize
lightsaber
problem
balloon in
with it,
Bloons
though.
TD6.
In level
That's
7,
sad.
you must narrowly avoid the ice balloons and pop them using explosive balloons. The problem with these types of levels is that there's no hotkey to reset, meaning if you want to restart the level, you have to move your mouse across the entire screen, and imagine doing that every 2 seconds because you missed your shot. I don't really see much in this game, or at least I didn't until Bloons World came out.
Hell yeah.
That's right. You can now upload your own custom levels and play other people's
Whoa.
wacky creations on bloonsworld.com. Obviously this website doesn't exist anymore, but there is an alternative. In what was probably one of the smartest decisions by Ninja Kiwi, there exists a Bloons game that is 100% comprised of player levels. Which means there's a good chunk of the best community levels that are not only fully archived, but credited with people's decade.
I love that. I really love when game companies actually archive their games so that people can play it later on. Like with all the surge of a lot of games, AAA games being completely shut down, and the recent petition that people were doing with the gaming thing, I forgot that name as well. But yeah, the gaming petition that wanted every game to be available for archiving even after the online servers shut down. I really like that idea. I love that we can still play these games because I really feel like the old games and the new games are like part of history. And like just as how you can access any book and any movie and any piece of art at any time and you can look back at the history of it, games should be treated the same way.
Usernames. You have
There was a lightsaber balloon in the past games. Why don't we have that in Bloon TD6 then? I would love a lightsaber balloon.
50 individual players
I mean,
who each create just one
monkey.
great level. I would go from levels that use the Pac-Man balloon in an actual gameplay scenario, to killing Pac-Man being the solution to a level, to one where your monkey reloads every time he takes a shot, to beer pong, to ridiculous bounces, or one where you rob a bank. If you're a level 1 petty thief, you might try opening the vault level. The proper way to withdraw money from the vault is to enter from the top. Once the door is open, get Pac-Man to rob
That
all
is so
those balloons,
creative.
and then you win. Thank you, BBQ Sandwich, for making this
Thank
piece
you,
of
BBQ
modern
Sandwich.
art. Almost
W
every
BBQ
single level I
Sandwich.
played was amazing. The community-made stages are just that fun. There is the odd one that is clearly 5-star bait, but then there's the cool ones, like the one with only one balloon, and there's the one where you play beer pong in balloons, made by BBQ Sandwich? Well, how did this guy get
BBQ Sandwich is
levels
insane.
into this game? Creating a game where you let the community do the work for you was such a great idea that they did it 2
BBQ
more times.
Sandwich was
within the
locked
next
in on
6
these
months.
levels.
Anyways, it was time for a new Bloons game, and Ninja Kiwi had just the thing you need. In August of 2007,
Deltarune reference. I haven't
Bloons
played
Tower
it, but I
Defense
know
was
it.
finally
Wait.
you need. In August of 2007, Bloons Tower Defense was finally released. The core gameplay is still there, if a bit more clunky. There's no
Okay, it
tower
finally
or
looks
start
like
round
our-
keys. The range on every tower is definitely incorrect, as tacks don't hit the edges of the range, and on top of that, darts disappear.
Okay, we finally have like our classic balloons,
quickly
at
after
least the
being
DNA
full.
of it.
There's also a lack of more modern features like targeting or pop counts, instead having a range indicator of all things and a very ambiguous speed meter. Despite despite that, it's still a good bit of fun. Darts are the main way to pop Bloons here because there isn't many alternatives. Not only is there only 5 towers, but most of them are
Okay, it's starting to
overpriced
really look
garbage.
like our
The bomb
modern
tower costs
Bloons.
$900, while the ice monkey, which can't even pop Bloons, costs $850. Neither of these towers feel like they are worth the price, especially when compared to the dart tower, which in this game fires really fast for some reason. And don't even get me started on the super monkey. I have no actual evidence for this, but I'm 90% sure the super monkey is a joke tower added in by the developers meant to troll players who think the super in its upgrade name means it's good, because it's not. The super monkey in this game is complete garbage. He costs $4,000 and I wouldn't even say he's worth half that price. I had 7 dart monkeys which were collectively worth about $2,500, and these monkeys handled the ways of Bloons pretty easily, but when I sold them all for one super monkey, everything went downhill. Choosing to place a super monkey killed me almost immediately, as the $4,000 was unable
we need
to
that
handle
we need that upgrade that turns it into a sun temple or something. I don't know how that happened. How does that super monkey turn into a fucking sun temple? And apparently it can then turn into a god and take sacrifices and then become a dark true sun god or whatever. Like I didn't like there's so many things in Bloons TD6 that I still don't know about. It's crazy.
Be destroyed. It goes deeper too. On round 42 the game questions, how many monkeys does it take to make a super monkey? Making fun of how this maths problem will keep you up at night. When you then beat round 47...
Let me guess. I'm gonna guess the super monkey seems pretty weak, so my guess is a super monkey in this game is as strong as like 4 dart monkeys.
Tooltip says, you got any super monkeys yet? Are they really worth all that money? This is literally the game telling you that this tower sucks 3 rounds before it ends. You can't get clearer than that. And yes, this game unfortunately does end on round 50. There's no free play in BTD1 and that sucks. The best way to beat the game is to spam dart monkeys. It's not even a challenge. Eventually you'll just start spawn camping the Bloons, though the game seemingly does not want you to notice. The tooltip at the bottom normally tells you what Bloons are coming next, but occasionally it gives you a random fact about American teenage girls of all things. The only real advice the game
Wait, what was that fact?
You a random
Round 23 passed, 78 money awarded. Did you know that the Greek national anthem has 136 verses? Huh, I didn't know that. I don't know why a monkey game is telling me about the Greek national anthem. 93 of American teenage girls say shopping is their favorite activity. Huh. I don't know why a monkey game is telling me all of that, but okay.
The only real advice the game gives you is you will probably need to use every tower type to finish the game. But there's no way that's correct. That's just a lie. This tooltip guy then goes on to boldly claim that you can't pass the game using only tack shooters. Someone actually managed to beat the game using only tack shooters, and Ninja Kiwi got so mad they increased the price of the tower by $75.
Why would you do that?
Although even with this change, it is certainly not impossible, as would be proven 10 years later by some random guy on YouTube. This would be the beginning of an ongoing trend where Ninja Kiwi says something is impossible before some psychopath from the community pulls it off. Even I managed to complete this challenge, just not in the way you'd expect. By pressing tab you can move around the menu, and by pressing enter you can upgrade monkeys using the keyboard. For whatever reason, holding down enter lets you buy upgrades multiple times, putting you into negative money. By purchasing faster firing, this exploit can be used to create a hypersonic tack shooter, which let me beat all 50 rounds with a single tower.
What the fuck is going on?
Though it's not very useful.
I mean, it's not cheating, it's a feature.
You won't be able to use it since the dart disappears immediately after being thrown. Although you can increase his pierce to create what is essentially a BTD1 juggernaut. Another funny
It's crazy how much of the features were already there in the first game. It already had pierce, it already had the different type of Bloons, it already had tack shooters, and I think Ice Monkey as well. I can see a frozen monkey icon. I'm guessing that's Ice Monkey. So, and Super Monkey. So it already had so many ideas. That's so cool.
Towers on the track. By right-clicking a tower after selecting it, you can even place them on the menu.
Top 10 game design, true.
Both of these bugs are still possible in BT2. Oh, sorry, spoilers.
Hey, no. Okay,
Seeing as
we're at
BTD1 was
BT2.
performing much
BTD2.
better in numbers, a sequel was released just 2 months later. And by sequel, I mean a carbon copy of the original game, but better. There's 0 new upgrades apart from the Super Monkey's laser vision, and the only
yeah.
other new features are the road items, the Boomerang Monkey, and 2 new difficulties. What I find interesting is the significant price decrease for all the bad towers in the previous game. The Ice Ball now costs a more reasonable $385, while the cannon costs $520, at least on easy. The
Oh, we
cannon
don't
is a
have
lot
Ice
better
Monkey yet? We have Ice Ball? Who wants Ice Ball? Give me my
here,
Ice
simply
Monkey.
because it's impossible to win without using it. Ninja Kiwi was so upset that people bet the game by spamming one tower that they added a lead balloon. The game
Oh, no.
promises it's impossible to win with
The infamous lead balloon.
only dart monkeys, and it's right. Nothing can pop the lead balloon except a cannon, which forces you to place it down.
So many of my runs are just literally killed by a random ass lead balloon showing up and me forgetting that I have to set up something to pop lead balloons. And I just fast forward, the lead balloons go through, I insta die, I can't reset anymore, I'm sad, I'm crying, that lead balloon destroyed my life. Anyways, I just hate lead
Though
balloons.
this doesn't really change the best strategy. Instead of only using dart monkeys, you now only use dart monkeys and the occasional cannon to pop lead.
Leads at 28? Yeah, I know that leads are in 28, but my brain just doesn't remember. When I'm fast forwarding, rounds don't exist for me. I'm just having fun, and then suddenly a lead balloon shows up and no one can hit it anymore, and before I can press escape and reset, I'm already dead. So yeah,
The developers
I
must
try
have
to
also
remember, but I
realized
have
this because
extremely
at one
shit
point
memory.
The game guilt trips you into using other towers. You might not need to use every tower type, but think of the wasted programming and graphic drawing if you don't. Luckily,
That's
the game is
crazy.
a lot harder and therefore more
Guilt
interesting
tripping
than
people
the
is
first one.
crazy.
Black and white balloons appear earlier, and there's even a new rainbow balloon containing 2 of each.
Oh,
the
hey, we got
equivalent of
glue.
popping 37
We got Geraldo's power.
balloons. This
can
becomes a
put
problem
glue on
when
the
the dart
road.
monkeys can only pop 2 balloons at a time. You'll end up using road spikes to catch the balloons that get by. That is, if you're bad at the game. See, I always thought the monkey glue was a completely useless road item. It doesn't even pop anything, what a waste of $40. After revisiting this game, I realized that glue is the strongest thing you could possibly buy
Yeah,
in a key
slowing
factor
them
to
down
beat
is
in
so
hard
good.
mode. When there's 2 rows, your monkeys will focus on one of them and ignore the other path. It's a bit stupid, but that's how they're programmed. The solution to this problem is to slow the balloons down on the longer path so that by the time they reach the monkeys, you will have already popped all the balloons from the other path. Alternatively, you can use the glue to ensure the destruction of the rainbow.
Okay.
It moves so slowly that
We
just a
already
few
had rainbow and those tiny black balloons.
dart
Damn.
monkeys can pop all of
So
it by
much
themselves.
of it was already
Unfortunately,
there.
are
That's
no
crazy.
left-handed monkeys. Sorry.
What? There
Just
are no
remember that.
left-handed
Here's a fun
monkeys?
fact.
Ah.
This tip that shows up on round 10 isn't even true. I don't know where they got this plus.
What? What are
This
these
tip that
random
shows up on round
facts they're
10
throwing
isn't
at
even
us?
true.
If a balloon escapes, you lose as many lives as the balloon
I don't
had balloons inside it plus 1.
know where they got this +1 thing from, but it's not right. You know what else is right? Handed the Boomerang Monkey. When
Let's
upgraded,
go!
this guy can pop up to 5 balloons per shot, which
I
is
don't really
still
like
worse than
Boomerang
just
Monkey,
spamming
but I'm
dart
sure
monkeys.
someone
I don't
out
know
there
where I
likes
heard this
Boomerang
from,
Monkey.
but supposedly, the Boomerang Monkey's tail can actually pop balloons. I tested this in-game and I could not
How does a lead balloon float? Good question. I don't know. We need to ask the balloon makers.
replicate it.
This
So
one.
either this is some super secret Easter egg, or I've been trolled by the internet. What's that?
Maybe it's like really light lead, like a really thin layer of lead.
You think the graphics are ugly and the gameplay is boring? Are you stupid or something? Wake up! The new Bloons is out now.
Let's go!
Brand new Bloons type, plus angled rubber blocks.
Wait,
Make
what?
friends. Only
Wait,
at
why are we
9.
degrading? Why did we go back to the throw thingy from the tower defense thingy?
NinjaKiwi.com. Wait a minute, isn't the rainbow balloon from BTD2? And isn't the ice monkey just a reference to the ice balloon? Or aren't all of these towers based on items from Bloons? What's next, the lightsaber monkey? I like even more Bloons, even more, even if it took a year to come out. Mostly due to the new mechanics, which there
Okay.
isn't a lot of, but the ones that are there are fun to mess around with. But first, let me tell you about the insane improvements this game has. You can finally press R to reset the level. This is fantastic
Hell yeah.
news, and now the game is like 10 times better. Any Bloons game released after Even More Bloons is just objectively better because of this tiny feature. It even tells you where and with what strength your last shot was fired at as well. The levels here are really creative. You'll find anything from blenders and levels where you destroy a boat. I think I figured out the genre of this game. It's a destruction simulator. Your end goal always ends up with you destroying
That does look so much
everything
fun
in
though.
some way or another. Although there is still some tricky levels, mostly from the new Bloon. The rainbow Bloon in this game requires 2 hits.
Whoa,
to
that's cool. That was a
Issue
cool
is
shot.
The rainbow will float upwards, which is a mechanic this game really likes to utilize. Usually it's something like in level 19 where the rainbows will float up while frozen. Other times you have to race the rainbows and quickly pop them. In Revolver, each rainbow you pop breaks another jar, creating tense situations where you don't have the time to think about where you're firing.
That
and you
does
just
look
have to do
hard.
it. These rainbow balloons were the things that eventually forced me to look up a walkthrough because I had no idea what to do for level 33.
Are you
No
surprised
matter
at
how hard
40
I
plus games? Yeah, 44 games is crazy. I thought it would be like 10, 15 maybe, but 44, it is
there's
insane.
No reaching those other balloons. I tried every angle with every possible strength, but nothing worked. The answer... Wow. What's not doable is this shot on level 26. The balloon is right in front of you and you can't hit it. That's
What?
it, I'm opening Bloons Pop 3. The next Bloons game is called Bloons Pop 3.
Hey,
And
new
you might be
Bloons
wondering,
game!
Where does the 3 come from? Where are the other 2 Bloons Pop games and why haven't I talked about them yet? The simple answer is that they don't exist. This is the first game in the Bloons Pop franchise with a misleading
What the
tree
hell?
added to the end. Or it would be called that if
Why did it turn into Candy Crush?
Bloons Pop 3 doesn't. I
What's
just
going
made it
on?
up right now. Well, you think Ninja Kiwi is stupid enough to call the first game in a series the third? Then decided it was not worth playing Bloons Candy Crush anymore.
Yeah, that's what I said. Also, why is it called Bloons Pop
Bloons
3?
Player Pack 4. I bet hard on my first try. Enough said.
Damn.
BTD 3. After almost a
Okay,
year,
new
Bloons
BTD,
Tower
let's
Defense 3
go.
came out. And was it worth it? Yes. This game was so good in fact that it even got copyright claimed and the developers had to change
Bruh.
its name from Bloons Tower Defense to BTD3. This Com2 US company trademarked the term Tower Defense in 2008.
What the fuck? I hate dumb trademarks like this. Tower defense is basically a game genre, right? That's kind of fucked up that they just trademark the term tower defense. Because I'm pretty sure every game where you put stuff down and things come out of the road is just called tower defense. That is a shitty trademark. Come on.
Every Flash game had to quickly change their name to avoid being sued.
Yeah, who the fuck? I bet it was like an 80-year-old like judge who had no idea about anything online and just couldn't give a shit, so just allowed the trademark to pass. Because that must have sucked for every other tower defense game out there.
Court. Anyway, this game has 2 extra upgrade paths, 2 new monkeys, road item abilities, and 2 new balloons, as well as maps that can turn in circles instead of basic squares. Free
Okay,
play
let's
was
go.
also
We got
finally
circles
added.
in Bloons
when
now.
the game ends, you're given the option to fry eggs on your overheating computer, and you can also spam spikes. This game made me realize how fun the road items are. These 3 items are their own subgenre of tower defense. The pineapple is capable of dealing with clumps of balloons and it pops 3 layers.
Okay.
It's cheaper than the
Yeah,
road
the
spike,
pineapple
making it
is now in the ace monkey, right? The airplane monkey. The airplane monkey is the only monkey who can throw pineapples now. So it comes from here, I see.
more cost effective as long as you have the
I
time
didn't know
to
it was
place
like a
ahead of
reference.
The balloons. The
That's
Moab
kind of
is
cool.
a new blimp added to the game, taking many
Hey,
hits to pop,
Moab!
and it drops 4 brown
We got our
balloons,
first
which then
Moab.
split into 2 rainbows. Since most towers do 1 damage at a fairly slow pace, the Moab is basically unkillable. Luckily, road spikes do 10 damage a pop, making them the perfect tool for destroying Moabs. Also on a side note, while in later games the Moab became its own blimp with Bloons in it. I love the implication that in BTD3 the Bloons have developed missiles to help them reach the end. You can clearly see the 4 brown Bloons riding on this surfboard thing. But no, really, Ninja Kiwi based this thing off an actual missile. The game mentions that it does not stand for Mother of all Bloons, rather Massive Ordnance Air Balloon. This is the exact same name found on the GBU 43B Moab Wikipedia page, but replaced Bloon
A
with
bomb.
Great reference.
Who's making these bombs is my question. Who wants to kill all these monkeys? Like, they literally have explosive balloons, ceramic balloons, lead balloons. They want to give lead poisoning to the monkeys. Like, who's doing that? That's so evil.
The service history tab has some interesting implications for the Bloons lore. But enough of that, you can literally pop Moabs using only road items. Sometimes the Moab popped way ahead of my monkeys, which forced me to spam glue, pineapples, and spikes. It's crazy how
That's
powerful
literally
the
me
road
with
items are in
Geraldo.
this game, even if you technically lose cash using them. Other ways to deal with threats include setting your monkeys to last, which can be good for the spike bolt as it works best when firing in straight
Hey,
lines.
spike
You can
bolt!
also set
That's gonna be an
tack shooters to
upgrade.
last, even though it doesn't do anything. As for the new towers, the beacon is helpful for buffing the attack speed of your monkey spam, but more importantly, it lets you unlock the Super Monkey Storm. So if you don't think your towers can defend a round, or if you don't believe in your index finger, then the Super Monkey Storm is the thing for you. It's how I bet the hardest map in the game. Yeah, this thing is a win button. You don't have to play the game. It might cost around $1,000, but for an upgrade that removes thinking, micro, and strategy, that's well worth the price. The reason I use tack shooters
That
to beat
kind
the
of feels
hardest map
unfair,
rather than
but
spamming dart
I mean,
monkeys
we
is
have a Super Monkey Storm in Bloons TD6 as well, right? It's a power now, which you can buy with cash, with real money.
because dart monkeys are terrible in this game. Genuinely awful. The only useful upgrade they received let them pop 1 extra balloon per shot. It's okay against the reds and blues, but it scales horribly into the late game. But do you know what is worth it? Tack shooters. With the
Hell
new
yeah.
late shooter upgrade, tack balloons obliterate everything that's not a Moab. This upgrade lets the tack shooter pop 3 balloons.
I
instead of
love
4,
this. This is
creating
so
a monster
interesting.
of a
It's so
tower.
interesting how early they already had the ideas. Like, we already have the blade upgrades, and the monkeys can. There's already a catapult which goes into our normal dart monkey upgrade now. We have Super Monkey Storm. Like,
Don't even
it's
need to
so
buy a
interesting
cannon for
because this
less.
is like 2007, 2008, I think, which is insane. That I was like 6 years old back then, and the game already had like the skeleton of everything we have right
Pineapples are
now.
well capable of destroying their
So
slow-moving outer shell. Speaking of the cannon, I now retract my statement.
Hey,
that it
Ice
was
Monkey!
bad. After some
Doesn't look
healthy
like Ice Monkey,
harassment
though.
from the community, I have come to the conclusion that it is almost as good as the tack shooter. The cannon now fires much faster and can pop through 2 layers of balloons with the frag bombs upgrade. Add an ice tower that can now pop black balloons, and you've got a combo that can only be stopped by ceramics and Moabs. The only bad towers are the boomerang and the dart monkey. The spike-a-pult isn't the best either, but at least when you upgrade it fully, you can pop a lot of balloons for an expensive price. The spike-pult is so expensive
We
that when
even
I
got
clicked on it to
glaives
check
on
the
that.
pop count, I was suddenly charged $5 from my bank account. This guy has a $900 upgrade, and all it does is make the spiked ball not disappear when leaving its range. Almost as great as when the dart monkeys miss balloons that are right in front of them, or when the boomerang somehow misses a red balloon that's touching its face. Are you even aiming? To be fair, this does seem to be a
Mexi, is your back still hurting? Because it's been over 30 minutes. Thanks for reminding me, Bean. I completely forgot. Yeah, I still have to stand. I have to do this for at least 3 months. My back is fucked up. So Doc said I have to do it at least for 3 months. Thanks for reminding me. I'm gonna watch it while standing right now.
general problem with BTD3, as I've even seen tack shooters not pop balloons despite the projectile clearly hitting them multiple
What?
times. Overall, this game is a great improvement on the balloons tower defense formula. The new upgrades make previously bad towers good, and the road item changes make for exciting gameplay. And then there's Hot Air Balloon.
What the-
Hot Air Balloon is another experiment game. It seems
Why are
like
we
Ninja
going
Kiwi
back?
treats balloons not as
Why
a
do we keep
singular
going
game,
back
but as
to
a
this type of
franchise,
gaming?
with different entries featuring different different genres, common theme being monkeys popping balloons. In this game, the same war criminal torturing Bloons from Bloons has now hijacked a Moab and uses it to
That's
pop
literally
balloons and
Flappy
get a high
Bird.
score. You know, I always believed the Moab was on the Bloons side. but
It
this
feels
game
like
paints
Ninja Kiwi got this amazing idea of monkeys and balloons, and they wanted to apply it to every famous game out there. I don't know if Flappy Bird was a thing back in 2008. I don't know. When did Flappy Bird come out? 2013. So wait a minute. So you're telling me Bloons made the concept of Flappy Bird? That's insane. Because this is literally like Flappy Bird.
as a neutral party. It seems as though the Moab is some super weapon that gets used by whoever
We
finds
found
it
more
first to
lore.
wreak havoc on the other
Flappy
side.
Bird's
whether
copied
that's controlled
Bloons.
by 4 ceramics or driven by a monkey. The game itself is fairly simple. Once you die, this brutal death animation plays and the game assures you that
Yikes.
the monkey is safe, which I don't believe at all. The only real noteworthy thing about this game was this strange glitch I found. Initially, the balloon sounds randomly disappeared, which was weird. But just like when the monkey gained hyper-realistic eyes, I assumed it was a bug and kept playing. Then the Moab sound stopped playing, causing
Wait,
the
the
game
monkey
to be
gets.
completely
I thought he was joking. I didn't know. Is the realistic eyes a joke or does that actually happen?
and kept playing. Then the Moab sound stopped playing, causing the game to be completely silent before my monkey clipped out of bounds and I never saw him again. Now, hot air balloon gets faster the longer you play the game, which is how it increases its difficulty over time. Since I lost
where
all
did the
control
monkey
of
go?
my monkey, I decided to see how fast the game would play if I let it run for 30 minutes. So what do you think happened? Did the balloons begin moving so
Whoa.
fast that they began clipping into each other and warranted a seizure warning? Did the trees and
Whoa.
clouds pass by so fast that only
Oh,
one
this is
was visible
actually-
at a time?
what?
The answer is none of them. This is the end game of hot air balloon. Nothing. All in all, this game wasn't too interesting.
I wondered
and
if
most
anyone
people
has
never cared
actually
for it.
reached
But I want
nothing
you to
by
remember it
themselves.
because it will become important later. But now,
I
it's
feel like
Christmas
this would be a really good challenge for Geometry Dash players. I think they would be able to do it.
of current
I
year
think that would be pretty fun.
2008, which means that
Someone
a
should
brand
do it.
new
Someone
Bloons
should
game is
try
coming
to
out.
reach
Oh,
the
but
end.
You don't have anything. Whatever. Just release another player pack, but snap a Santa hat to the monkey. This is
Hell yeah.
Bloons Player Pack 5. Most of the levels are shaped like a bauble, a Christmas tree present, snowman with and without RTX, the Grinch, or just a bunch of ice balloons.
That is really cool
Someone
though.
made a reindeer and I had no idea how to pass it, so I enabled unlimited dart mode and then killed the deer. Then I got a gingerbread
Why would you
man
do
and
that?
Killing him was the solution.
Oh,
I feel
you-
like there's two types
he
of
killed the
people making
deer.
these levels. There's the 6-year-old making Christmas present because wow, that's like the thing I got for Christmas. Then there's the guy who escaped an asylum who creates a level designed to torture people. There's no in between. The stages are either insanely easy or mind-bendingly hard. But you know what's crazy? I think Ninja Kiwi knew there was this divide in the player base because the next two Bloons games were Bloons Jr. and Bloons Insanity. The former being a game built for the younger demographic, while Insanity is 50 of the most diabolical levels
That-
made by a
that-
twisted
that's-
user
that sounds
community.
fun.
Bloons Jr. seems to have been made by Ninja Kiwi, and as you would expect, it is impossible to lose. Not only are the darts bigger so you pop more balloons, but charging up shots is slower so making accurate shots is easier. And just in case you're playing this on a steering wheel, most levels give you way more than enough darts so you can still win even if you completely miss half your shots. Most of the stages look like they could be hard, but because of the bigger darts, they are simple, making you feel a lot better at the game than you actually are. The other half are auto levels which
Whoa,
play
what the fuck is
themselves, but
this?
it's okay because they have a smiley face. Look guys, he's happy because the new Bloons is out. Although believe it or not, some of the later puzzles require you to actually think. The last level requires you to make a big shot, and for some reason it's really hard. You have to pop every single balloon, meaning missing just one shot causes an instant loss. The hardest part was
Whoa.
trying to leave this cave. The boomerang is so massive that it works against you.
I noticed one thing. If you see at the bottom right, I don't think you guys can see it because my monkey is probably hiding it. But the person who's making this video, his friends keep playing Don't Starve Together, and also the face that he uses for like crazy people is also, I think, a character from Don't Starve Together, which makes me feel like this guy really likes Don't Starve Together, and I really like Don't Starve Together. So I'm not complaining, just an observation. Bloons Junior is for geekers. I'll play Bloons Juniors when I'm like 80 years old and I'm like forgetting everything and I can't even hold a mouse properly anymore. That's when I'm gonna play Bloons Junior. Maybe we'll stream that 80 years in the future if the Earth exists. That is,
Massive
if the
that it
Earth
works
survives.
against you. I spent a good 30 tries attempting to figure out how you shoot the boomerang out of here, but eventually crap. But eventually, I did it.
Hell
I
yeah!
finally bet Bloons Jr. and then the game thanked me for playing, which automatically puts it in the top 10 games of all time. I'm sure the other
That's
Bloons
crazy.
games did this too.
I
but-
bet all the kids voted for it to be the top 10 game. I mean, it's a game made for kids. Have you seen the amount of players Roblox has? So imagine when Bloons Jr. came out and every fucking parent was buying it for kids. This must have had like
I wouldn't
trillions
know.
of
This
players.
is the first one I actually completed. But if it's difficulty I want, then Ninja Kiwi has the perfect thing for me. Alright, look, I was terrified of playing Bloons Insanity.
He used to make Don't Starve Together content. Makes sense, makes sense.
I imagine it being what Kaizo Mario is to normal Mario, and for good reason.
Oh,
There
yikes.
is a walkthrough for the levels on the main menu. There's no better way of telling players your game is impossible than by adding a walkthrough inside of it. Despite that, I pushed on, and on level 1 I already began having problems. I imagine the developers had to remove the usernames just so they wouldn't get tracked down and killed for making evil levels. The only way to complete this is to
Makes
fire at a
sense.
really specific angle.
I'm gonna bet they removed the username creators username because people started getting death threats, because I bet that happened where someone made such a diabolical level that everyone on the internet, especially Twitter users, started sending him death threats. And that's why they removed the creator name.
So your dart pops the jar, then hits the stack balloon, which then pops the rainbow balloon all in one shot. After that, you have
Whoa,
to quickly
that looks
take
hard.
another super precise shot to pop the rainbow balloon before it floats away. Eventually though, I managed to overcome the first level of Bloons Insanity. Level 2 is not as hard, although it still took me a while to beat. Level 3 involves the mechanic of bouncing a dart off of frozen balloons, but then there's level 4. Level 4 was by far the hardest. In fact, it was so difficult that I stopped playing Bloons Insanity. Okay, I'm sorry. This level requires you to carefully bounce one dart multiple times across the tightest gaps in existence, all to pop a
This
rainbow
looks like an
jar.
interesting challenge. I might play Bloons Insanity in a future stream. I think this would be really fun. We can have a stream where we try to defeat Bloons Insanity in one stream. It would be painful, I can feel it, but
Making one bounce correctly doesn't
Kinda
even
looks fun,
guarantee
yeah,
the rest
exactly.
will work.
Does look
Sometimes
fun.
you get so close to the end and other times you instantly fail despite me not being able to tell what I did differently. For this reason I spent over 10 minutes slightly moving my mouse and then spamming the darts at every possible strength before repeating the process. After a while I just gave up. I searched up a playthrough of these levels and I can safely say I didn't miss much. I don't think I'm alone either. If you look at the comments in this video, you find the creator to level 4, and not even this guy could beat his own level again after making
Bruh.
it. How am I supposed to win if the creator himself can't pass it? I did a quick test with unlimited darts mode, and after you make that crazy shot, you then have to take a second one in order to pop the rainbow balloon. Even if I somehow made it past that first shot, the second one would have undoubtedly finished me. Luckily, I can play Bloons Tower Defense 3 on my 10-year-old iPhone because BTD iOS has just come out. All you need to know about this
Hey!
game is that it was removed from the App Store, and this video I found of a guy beating round 100 on hard. Sorry for the quality, my sister broke the good video camera. They also made an iOS version of Bloons. which
I
sounds
love watching like old YouTube videos. They feel so nostalgic and so funny because most of the time it's like an extremely blurry camera, an extremely shitty mic, and someone just having fun with it. It's just I'm going on a tangent, but I was looking for that song made by the like the Plants vs Zombies song, Zombies on Your Lawn, and I found the original creator for it. Yeah, I found the original creator of this song, Super Shigi. Her channel is amazing, by the way, and she's super talented. But this is like a 15-year-old video, and I'm sorry, but her camera quality is terrible.
Webcam, so I figured it'd be a good opportunity.
Like she's super talented. She sings the song in this video as well. But what's up with the camera quality? The song is still really cool though. Also, the funniest thing, I think the guy who voiced the zombies is also in the video, so you can actually.
Football. Road goats may thank my head.
It's just super cute. It's super wholesome. But all the comments are how she is really a sunflower. Even the whole camera is on light mode. Like everyone is commenting about the camera quality. Like, but it was 15 fucking years ago. Like that's ancient. Anyways, we jump back in.
Horrible. Imagine trying to beat this level with your fat finger blocking where you're trying to shoot. No, it's time to play an actually good game. BTD4.
Let's
Comparing
go!
BTD4
New
to the third
BTD!
game is like comparing a one-dimensional shape to a two-dimensional one. Or at least that's what I thought before I played
That monkey
the game
looks kind
again.
of
It is
ugly.
ugly as hell. If 2 years of
Yeah, that's what I said. It does look ugly. Man, I predicted that.
Flash game with developer art and 5 a game with an art style, then BTD4 is this uncanny thing in between. Why does the track have shadows on both sides?
Yikes.
And how is this spike factory on the water? Did they remove the laws of physics in this game too? I always remembered BTD4 as an upgrade to the third game, yet it feels like the same game with a different coat of paint.
I
There's
think they
only
just
2
learned
new
how to
balloons,
put
the
shadows.
Camo Balloon and the
The camo balloon. The camo balloon ruins my runs as well.
same game with a different
Especially those fucking DDTs.
coat of paint. There's only 2 new balloons, the Camo Balloon
I
and
I
the
think
BFB.
they finally learned how to just put shadows.
In this game, the Camo Balloon functions
That
like
is
the red
all.
balloon, where
And-
only
and the
certain
Camo
towers
Balloon.
can pop it, or in this case, see it. The BFB, on the other hand, is the Moab, but stronger,
Whoa.
dropping 4 when popped. The Bloons must really hate that Bloons guy if they put a red cross over him on their strongest
That's
blimp.
crazy.
Well, it isn't very scary. By the point you make it to BFBs, you've already been popping Moabs and ceramics for a while, so it shouldn't be
Hey,
possible.
is that the monkey town? Do we already have the monkey town by BTD4? That's crazy. Like that's the village, right? Is that the village or the bank? I keep forgetting. One of the two. But it's crazy that we have that already.
For the BFB to kill you. Also, you can just place road spikes to pop camo balloons, so the rounds end up feeling really similar to BTD3. The upgrades
Oh yeah, that
on
is the
other hand
farm.
are really
We
weird.
can see a banana
BTD3
farm
had
on
4
top of that
upgrades on
map.
each tower, so logically, in order to make BTD4 the bigger game, it also has 4 upgrades. Instead of having 2 tiers of 2 paths, this game has 1 path with 4 upgrades. Although this works in the game's favor, as it lets towers get much stronger the more upgrades you buy. The cannon's
Nice.
final upgrade deals 10 times damage to
Yo, what
Moabs.
was-
The tack
what's
shooter
that
turns
art?
into a fire shooter. The dart monkey turns into the catapult monkey. But wow, this game must hate itself or something, because when you open it, immediately you get asked to play BTD5, a better
That's
game.
crazy.
Even the developer of BTD4 insults himself in a comment on this random video I found. This game also added the
So they all hate BTD4. It looks like they don't talk about BTD4. Anyone who tries to play BTD4, they're like, hey, we have BTD5 now. Please go there. Please don't talk about BTD4. Don't play it. Don't even interact with it.
strongest tower in this entire franchise. The farm. For only $1,000,
Hey,
you
we
can
got
make
the farm.
$80 at the end of each round. You can then upgrade it for more money, which can be used to reinvest into more farms, and the cycle keeps going. After I filled the map with farms, I was making $8,000 per round, which is more than enough for me to buy random towers. That's the thing about farms. Because
Hell
you
yeah.
eventually make so much money, you can spam terrible towers, and because there's so much of them, it will defend against the Bloons. This is also the first game to have music which isn't some royalty-free song. At least I think.
Hey, we got Wizard. We got Wizard Monkey.
The
I
later
can see
games
Wizard Monkey
reused
right
the motive
there.
established here, so I assume it was created specifically for this game.
we have
But if that's
Necromancer
true,
Monkey
I am
back
unable
then?
to
I don't
find
think so, right?
credits for the person who composed it. My best guess is that it's a track called Volcano Party off a site called Getty Images Music. My only evidence for this is that someone got copyright claimed over using this music by the same website.
Yikes.
29 times. But even that might be a
Yikes.
dead end, as if you check the website yourself, you learn that the music was added after BTD4 came out, implying this is a false claim. There's also an improved
Oh
targeting
yeah.
system. where
I
for
got a
strong-
false claim on my Plants vs Zombies video. There's this random ass channel that fake claims every Plants vs Zombies video. So when I was posting my like Plants vs Zombies but I can't nut challenge, I got a copyright strike. And I was like, why am I getting a copyright strike? There is no like copyrighted music. So I see the channel name, I go to Reddit, and everyone in the Plants vs Zombies community is complaining about how there's this one fake company that keeps copywriting Plants vs Zombies videos, and apparently this has been a problem for years now, and YouTube just doesn't do anything about it. Like, the YouTube copyright system is really broken. If I didn't know any better and I did not dispute the claim, then all my ad revenue and everything would have just gone to this random ass company that doesn't even like own Plants vs Zombies music. So
Bloons and one for weak Bloons, which I can't find a use for. Why would you ever want to hit weak Bloons? But by far the best change is the fast forward button and hotkeys for
Hell
every
yeah.
tower except the
I
spike
love the
factory
fast
in
forward
Darwin,
button.
because
I die most of the time because I'm constantly spamming the fast forward button, but I will use the fast forward button because I am because my brain is used to YouTube shorts and brain rot, and it does not have the capability to be patient anymore. So anytime I play it in normal mode, my brain is like, oh, I'm getting bored, press fast forward right now.
Yes, they're racist. This makes the game feel a lot smoother and faster.
Wait. What is racist? What? Whoa. What?
Because I guess they're racist. This
What's
hotkeys for every tower except the spike factory in Darwin, because I guess they're racist.
I
This
see,
makes
they
the
don't have
game feel a
hotkeys
lot
for
smoother and
Spike
faster
Factory.
compared
I was
to
like,
3.
what?
If you don't want to wait 5 years for the red bloon to reach your monkeys, speeding it up makes them move at the speed of sound, which will kill you if you're not careful. Pressing K for road spikes is also a nice addition, allowing you to pop leaking bloons faster before
yeah.
you can die. Even better, the game gives you a rough idea of how many bloons come next with the red bloon equivalent stat, showing you the number of pops required to
More
beat the upcoming
statistics.
round. There was also a custom map editor, but it has been purged from existence, so I can't really talk about it. And Sandbox, which allows you to test
Oh, the
towers
Sun
and
God! We have the Sun God! Okay, that Sun God looks kind of goofy. What's the lore with the Sun God? Why did they think making the Super Monkey into a Sun God was like the play here?
bloon before using them in a real game. So my favorite aspect of this game are the new challenges. The first one asks you to beat this easy map using only dart and super monkeys. I went
Okay.
into this thinking it would be a cakewalk given how overpowered the dart monkeys tend to be, but I was proven very wrong. I died thinking super monkeys would defend anything, clearly forgetting
Whoa.
how overpriced they are, before I began spamming spike pulled dart monkeys, and for some reason that worked. There are so many straight lines here that if you get enough catapults, they can handle anything you throw at them. The next one was even easier. Only spike factories and the Dartling Gunner. I didn't even have to use the Dartling Gunner. The best strategy here is to spam spike factories at the end.
This map
and
looks so
wait.
goofy.
The balloons take so long to get near the exit that by the time they do, your spike factory army would
The
have
sun is a cool religion? True.
created an unstoppable wall of spikes. The hardest part about this was
I mean, there's
timing
so many
pineapples
religions
to
which
pop
pray
red,
to the
but it was
sun.
smooth sailing for the most part.
The
until
sun does look
second
scary, so I
last
understand.
round. In BTD4, glue can't slow ceramics, so if they show up on this challenge, then there's a big problem. So many balloons started coming out that I was forced
Whoa.
to become my own spike factory and spammed spikes for dear life to survive. And it worked, so I can safely say that this challenge is for stupid babies. 50k to beat
Okay.
50 Moabs? Super monkeys are obviously the answer.
Whoa.
Of course it didn't work, it cost exactly 50,000, that's how you know it's a trap. New strategy. Use the ice monkey to slow down balloons, wizard to blow back balloons, and maulers do the rest. This did fail, but I saw potential here. I tried better positioning before realizing, you know what's a good upgrade? Super Monkey Storm! Able to clear out entire screens of blue.
Okay.
How did that do even worse? That's it. More Super Monkey Storm. What do you mean there's a cooldown? Okay, what about tax spam? Well, this did surprisingly
Okay,
well.
this
I
level
combined
looks
it with
hard.
the Ice Monkey and got even closer to winning. Then I added Super Monkey Storm to the mix and got
The sun is so cool, people invented anti-sun protection? You mean the sun is so hot? The sun is not cool, buddy.
even further from the solution. I tried a bit more random variations of this strategy, but nothing was working. Not even close. This is when I got desperate. What about, I don't know, Ace? Let's try spamming the monkey ace. The tower is pretty bad as it can't aim, and the only advantage I saw in it was how the hell did this work?
Whoa.
What can I say? The ace is really overpowered in this game. After I learned this information, I was ready
Nice.
for
My
the
my guess is the ace worked because of how much it spams darts all around. So when you put a bunch of them, there's just so many darts that it just
ultimate
insta
challenge,
like
the
hits
hardest
a
map
billion
on the
darts
hardest mode
simultaneously.
and only one life. You
Ooh,
leak a
chimp!
single red balloon, you die.
We got chimps mode. Is this the first example of the first iteration of a chimps mode?
Ready for
It is, right? Pass this track on hard difficulty without losing any lives.
the
This is the
ultimate
first chimps mode
challenge,
level.
the hardest map on the hardest mode and only one life. You leak a single red balloon, you die. Now I've yet to address the elephant in the room. This is the first Bloons game to have monetization. And
Aww.
how is it monetized? Every time you die, the game presents you with an opportunity to buy this fabulous upgrade that should prevent you from dying next time. And I gotta say,
Pay
this
to
has to
win
be
monkey
the least
gaming.
predatory monetization system I've ever seen. I'm sure Ninja Kiwi wants you to buy these, but most of the premiums are complete garbage. Did you lose just now because your ship couldn't pop frozen or leads? Believe it or not, I don't have a boat, nor have I had problems with frozen and lead balloons. But of course, if my wizards had extra range and could see camo, then I wouldn't die to those darn ceramics. The only reason I said most of these are garbage is because there is one upgrade you can buy that is
No, don't go pay to win,
absolutely
Mr. Orange.
double cash mode. For a few Ninja Kiwi coins, you can not only double your starting cash, but also double the amount of money you make. For obvious reasons, this upgrade is extremely powerful. I'm pretty sure you could even start with a farm using that amount of money. It doesn't
Did you
end there
use the
either.
money,
There's
though?
8 maps that
I need to know,
individually-
Mr. Orange, did you go pay to win? Because that would be kind of that is kind of I don't know, going pay to win in monkey gaming. You're I don't know. Sounds kind of
locked
cheating.
behind the coin trans
Hey Mexi, are you still standing? Nah, I sat down. I'll stand up again in like 10 minutes.
transaction, but by far the worst offender is this game's leveling system. Not every upgrade is unlocked immediately, and you have to level up by playing the game in order to unlock tier 4 upgrades. This process is incredibly slow and purposely so. You could play the game up to round 60 then get jump scared by the game saying you unlocked a single upgrade,
Okay.
or you could skip the whole process and buy the max level at the cost of a few Ninja Kiwi coins.
Aw.
Unfortunately, it gets a lot worse later, but I'll get to that when it
Pay
happens.
to win monkey
Let's
gaming.
move on to the
One
next
thing
game.
I do like about Bloons TD6 though, yeah, it has a lot of monetary options, and you can you will become pay to win if you pay for a bunch of superpowers and stuff. But I appreciate that at least the chimps mode and some of the like big challenge modes are like you have to show your skill over your pay to win skills. So like beating chimps and stuff, you actually have to be locked in. You can't just pay your way through it. I appreciate that.
Well, game in heavy quotation marks. This one's a weird one. It was only available during December of 2009.
Hey, Christmas
After
mode
which it was
again.
taken off the App Store permanently. It included
They
all the
they better give us a Bloons TD6 Christmas event this year. I would love to play
normal
that.
Bloons levels, except everything is reskinned to fit a more festive theme. Boomerangs turn into candy canes, tacks into holly leaves, and bombs into baubles. Pac-Man Bloon
Aw.
also makes a return in the form of a reindeer. Alongside the normal levels, there was also 81 brand new levels. 3 of them would be unlocked every day in the days leading up to Christmas. I guess it's like a weird Christmas calendar? Anyways, once the holiday season was over, Ninja Kiwi did what everyone does and burns all their work to the ground. They took the game off stores immediately after
Why?
Christmas ended. This game is literally unplayable unless you happen to have the 13-year-old application on your phone. Let's see how sadistic will levels get now, because Ninja Kiwi just dropped the trailer for Bloons 2. The monkey from the first game returns, informing us that the original game got over 1 billion plays, equating to...
Okay, what is happening?
This guy was clearly on a mission to destroy as many Bloons as possible. No wonder they start attacking you later. Here it is. Bloons... Wait, where's the 2? There it is!
Let's
Listen,
go.
this game has Bloons you can pop.
It's crazy that we got Bloons 2 after we got Bloons TD4 and like a bunch of games. I think we're already 10 games deep, and now we are getting Bloons 2. That's kind of insane.
on the main menu. It can't possibly be bad. Oh no, what is this? What am I looking at? Clicking on the Super Monkey allows you to completely obliterate any level.
Bruh.
However, you only have a limited number of these skips, but you can buy more with
No!
coins from this random website. You also
Not
get an
pay
extra
to
skip
win
for
Bloons
completing
Gaming
roles
again.
on the new Fortnite map. But yeah, Bloons 2 has become a mobile game on Flash. They even had the balls to add a feature showcasing you the solution to levels, only to charge you for it as well. At
That's
least this
crazy.
maximum distance button is free, though I was still skeptical. Does this mean the levels are going to become extremely broken and unfun to force players into buying Super Monkeys? Surprisingly, no. There are 96 levels in this game and the vast majority are really well made. There's new music and
That's
you know
good.
what? Let's not talk about it. They're all 10-second loops and it drives me insane. The new mechanics work really well. There's layered balloons, moving balloons, and a bouncing block that disappears. Level 19 asks you to use one dart to mine down to this single red balloon. Bounces in general feel more natural.
Copying
In Bloons,
Minecraft,
you
I
could
see.
throw a dart and have
You
no
always
idea
did
why it
completely
went
down.
where it
That
did,
is
while
literally the
bounces
strat
in
in
Bloons
Minecraft.
2 make more logical
You should always
sense.
do that.
But by far my favorite new mechanic is the upside down balloon. Popping this one flips gravity, causing everything to fall in the opposite direction. Some of the best stages in this game utilize this concept. Level 50 gives you one dart to pop all of these balloons. After a bit of precision, you can fire a shot that hits multiple anti-gravity balloons in order to beat the stage. The developers were so proud of this level that they did the same thing, not once, but 2 more times. Another great
They were
feature
really
is
proud.
the Monkey Ace. Popping the plain balloon lets you summon the Monkey Ace, who must be made out of paper because touching anything causes him to explode. Though my favorite
Bruh,
levels are the more
poor
ridiculous
monkey.
ones. Here you play Minecraft
It crashed
and have
his
to dig your
plane.
way to the balloons. I can't believe no one's thought of this concept before. It seems so obvious now. There's also the level where you must somehow shoot 2 darts at the same time, or a full-on speedrun level where you must pop the balloons before they get frozen. While
Ooh.
these are difficult, finally
Bloons
beating the
invented
stage is
speed
satisfying.
running,
Of
confirmed?
course. Just use the rubber wall to delay one of the darts by a bit so you can time the other one. Of course. Get better at the game. Finally, there's my favorite level in all of Bloons. This might not look like it, but it is secretly an auto level. Once you find the correct spot, this happens.
Ooh, this is satisfying. This is like one of those like pinball things, you know? The very satisfying things you see on YouTube where they put one ball.
I think this is the
In,
first
like-
time I was genuinely impressed by an auto level. This is insane.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not all
Like,
stages
you know how
work.
those YouTube videos where they put like a single metal ball into a tube and then it falls into like a trolley and then the trolley takes it to a lever and the lever presses the metal ball into a rotating thing and it rotates and then it goes into another tube and it then falls into a bucket. Super satisfying to watch, by the way.
Created equally, and here comes my biggest problem with Bloons
Marble
2.
gaming?
The later
Uh-huh,
levels are awful. Just
I
look
love
at
watching
the
them. They're
video.
so
Does this look
satisfying.
fun to you? Bloons 2 is a good game in the beginning, but starts to lose its charm later on. I would assume the custom level creator was also great, but I can't access any of the levels, so I wouldn't know. Since the spin-off of Bloons became more popular than the original game, more side games based off of Bloons got created.
Hell
And
yeah.
that's
I
how
mean,
we
why
got
wouldn't the spin-off be more famous? You literally released 4 Bloons Star Defense, but only 2 actual Bloons. So of course it would get famous. You worked more on the tower defense than the actual game.
this abomination. Bloons Super Monkey is an arcade-style game where you fly a super monkey, pop balloons, and collect.
This is
blocks
literally
to upgrade
that asteroid. What's that game called? With the airplane. Space plane.
Super Monkey.
Why did
then
my brain
repeat.
lag
If
there?
you don't pop enough balloons, you die. I mean, what else would this broken cape indicate? Unlike the previous games, you can't buy a bomb that skips the level for you. That now happens randomly, though you do not need to rely on the bombs, as the upgrades are more
Yeah,
than
this is
powerful
literally
enough
that
to live by
airplane game.
themselves. The
Looks
top
like
half
Ninja
increases
Kiwi
the
tried
darts you
every
fire
fucking
weapon.
genre possible. Whenever they saw any game pop off, they were like, yeah, we're gonna make this, but with monkey and balloons. And I'm gonna be
Middle
honest,
path gives you
it works
boomerangs
pretty
which
well.
eventually turn into deadly bombs. And the bottom path, we don't talk about the
What's
bottom
that?
half. The most engaging part of this game are the various balloon formations. In stage 2, even the red balloons start moving so quickly that you have to actively follow them in order to beat the level. Because remember, if you don't reach a certain number of pops, you lose. So the game pulls a lot of tricks to stop you from getting
That's
pops.
crazy.
Those tricks range from the balloons becoming hypersonic or these arrows which indicate where the next balloon
polar
made
bear.
arrow is. This later turns into a memory game. What's even smarter is this level where the ceramic balloons surround you
Whoa.
in order to prevent you from popping balloons. But yeah, not much else to say here. After a few Moabs, the game ends with a BFB boss battle.
The lag
where
is
ceramics
crazy.
are flying everywhere, but by this point you have 2 tiers of upgrades maxed out, so that doesn't matter too much. Bloons Super Monkey seems more obsessed with high scores than it is with being difficult. The balloon pop goals aren't too hard to reach if you follow the balloons, but what is hard to get are these trophies. After the mandatory goal, there are 3 more optional ones if you are somehow good enough to pop every single balloon on screen.
Someone
That's
has
pretty
to have
much
done
all
that,
of this
right?
game, though. Wait a second. Who is this guy and why is he in the monkey game? There is
Whoa.
a person in this game. There have been literally 0 humans before and
Lore?
after this point. Yet this Nightman is here chilling inside an ice cube. Who is this guy? Hell, where did they even get this art from? The style is so different from every other game they've made. Looks like a children's coloring book. I have so many
Who's
questions
this guy?
but 0 answers, so I'll move on to something big. BTD4
Maybe
just...
that's the guy who taught the wizard monkeys their magic, and instead of actually thanking him, they froze him into the ground because they hate humans. That's why there's no humans in this game. The monkeys killed them all.
got an update 12 years ago. This expansion is admittedly small,
Hey,
but
new
slowly
Bloons
premium's
TD.
ready.
Still
new
4
maps,
though.
2 towers advertised
Don't we
as
hate Bloons TD4 though? When are we going to Bloons TD5?
new, even though they were in the last game, and deflation mode, as well as some specialties that make some
Mexi, it's been
towers
10
cheaper
minutes?
and others
Yep.
more
Let me stand
expensive.
up.
I was going to play on the new hardest map, but then I realized how boring the gameplay of BTT4 is and didn't. Yeah, this update did
Hey,
not
we got the
change
Sun
my
Temple.
opinion on this game
Ha-
at all. It was
That map is so wacky, by the
and
way,
didn't.
because the Sun Temple is vertical, but then your placements are horizontal, so it looks. Who designed this map?
Yeah, this update did not change my opinion on this game at all. It was developed to quell the overwhelming demand for a new Bloons tower defense. And since BTT5 was still a year away, the expansion pack was the next best thing. I will
Okay.
say though, I really like the Monkey Temple map. Not only does it look cool, but there's an Easter egg here. Once you get $30,000 and 40 monkeys, do you want to activate the Monkey Temple? You will not be given another chance.
Oh.
Selling your soul to God will create the most powerful tower ever and becomes a staple in the next few games.
Yeah, hey, this is literally the Sun Temple thing that you can make from your Super Monkey, which takes sacrifices in Bloons TD6. I know my lore.
Even a BFB,
That is so cool.
the
So
strongest
is this like the first Easter egg in a map? Because I know there's a lot of Easter eggs in Bloons TD6 maps. Like, I didn't know about them, but I was watching a video yesterday, and there's so many like small details and small buttons on the map that you can press in various maps to do a bunch of things. It's really cool. I love that they put
Bloon in
so
the
much
game is
thought
no
and
match
effort
for it.
into each
Although
map.
spaced out BFBs will definitely overwhelm the temple, so while it's not a free win card, it is something you should definitely
There's a
purchase.
Black Sun
come
Temple.
on.
Yeah, I think it's called the True Sun God or whatever.
Your soul's worthless anyways. Now I'd like to talk about the only game on here that is basically lost media. Hot Air Balloon was released as a completely new game on
Hey, I forgot
November
about this
3rd,
game.
2010. Issue is, the only, and I mean only evidence I have of its existence is this random trailer for the game posted 12 years ago. The
Aw.
game seems to take place on an island similar to Bloons 2, where you fly a blimp through 7 different areas. I'd assume there's some new mechanics, but the trailer doesn't show much, other than boss battles, though I have no idea how this
Ooh, that's
fat
cool.
bee is supposed to have any chance against a monkey with a missile. Presumably there would have been bosses for every
Whoa.
scene as you fight the prankster whale in an ocean area.
That
And you
looks
might be
so
like, "Well, what's
cool."
the main goal for this game? Do we finally have a reason as to why the Bloons and monkeys are working together? The answer? You must rescue your true love from the sinister Monkey Baron.
What?
What? What monkey
Yeah.
Is there evil monkey politicians in the Bloons world?
That's
Why is there
crazy.
dart monkeys firing at the monkey? I thought you guys were on my side. Why am I working with the Moab anyway? Does the Moab have a true love he's rescuing as well from the evil blimp baron? I have so many questions about this
True.
game and absolutely zero answers because this seemingly lore-heavy game has no trace anywhere on the internet. As far as I know, the only way to retrieve any footage of it is to hope someone still has the game on their phone, and that's exactly what happened.
Hell yeah.
11 years later, this absolute legend uploaded some gameplay of it. And instead of talking
Look at that phone. That phone is holding on for dear life. And look at the screen. It's gonna explode any moment now.
about the intro, I'll just show it to you because it's just on another level.
Hey, a true monkey love. The monkey baron. No, monkey baron, don't take my true monkey love away. That's actually insane.
After this,
That's
without
so
explanation,
evil. That's literally the lore of Mario, by the way. That's like that's like Mario and Princess Peach, and Bowser shows out of nowhere and steals Princess Peach.
Dart Monkey steals this blimp here and proceeds to 1v1 another monkey in the sky. In the
Why?
first section of the game, already you're
My
forced
question is why? So the monkey baron is a monkey, not a balloon, but is evil. And so us, the monkeys that hate balloons, team up with the balloons because the monkey baron is more evil than the evil balloons. So the evil balloons and the good monkeys decided they should be good together to get rid of the even more evil baron to get the love interest, I think. Am I making any
to
sense
kill
right
another
now?
monkey. Unfortunately, the footage kind of ends there, and we don't get to see what the sinister monkey baron actually looks like. It goes to the second stage where you fight the snowman, and I kid you not, the way you defeat him is by waiting for him to melt in this snow-filled area. Great game,
Okay.
10 out of 10
That's a
would
cool
not
concept.
recommend. Bloons 2 Christmas Pack.
Of course they have
Bloons
another
2
Christmas thing.
Pack. This game returns to the classic.
What's their obsession with like Christmas editions? They always have a Christmas pack every year. Which is kind of cool. I love Christmas, so I can't complain.
Giving you 50 levels to beat, as well as the return of unlimited darts mode. And crazy enough, everything here is Christmas themed. The items are all reskinned into festive props, and the monkey ace turns into Santa Claus. There's
Kind of
actually a
cute.
lot of Santa in this game, mostly because the levels insist on giving you way more power-ups than you need. On level 30, I had so many boomerangs that my inventory was filled with them even after popping 100% of the balloons. Okay, but the level where you actually make Santa deliver presents was... Wait a minute. Wait, hang on. Why is there only 48 levels? Level 48 is the final level, at which point Ninja Kiwi wishes you a happy holiday and a balloon-tastic new year. But every other game had 50 levels. So what gives? Were the developers just lazy this year? Did their true love get stolen by the evil Kiwi Baron? In actuality, clicking the Christmas star and presents on the main menu leads you to 2 secret levels. The levels themselves aren't anything special, but the concept of having 2 bonus stages for anyone who notices the missing levels is clever. But I must ask, why is there a snowman made of sand? What the hell is this supposed to represent?
Hey, this is
it
literally
sand is
Australia.
the opposite of snow?
No, this is literally Australia celebrating their Christmas because they have literal summer when Christmas is going on. So they don't get snow, so they're making it out of sand. This is an Australian level.
And snow comes during Christmas, and sand comes after during Christmas. Sand has 4 letters, and you know what else has 4 letters? That's right, glass. How do you make glass? You smelt sand. What do you make with glass? The iPhone 4.
Man,
Therefore,
if only the Orange's geography was good. If only Orange knew about Australia.
in January, the month after Christmas, when all the snow melts, Ninja Kiwi will release the 4th Bloons Tower Defense game on the iPhone 4. And what do you know? That's exactly what happened. Oh, and absolutely nothing changed with this game, other than, you know, changing the entire art style. And what is this? A bear with bees? A year
Whoa.
after release, the Beekeeper was introduced as a new tower.
Why do we have a bear?
His bees, and he's really strong for some reason. There's also a few seasonal
That makes-
reskins that happen during Halloween, but for the most part, BTD4 Mobile is the same game with a few extra
Why did we get a bear? There's no bear in monkey gaming. What the fuck? I thought we eliminated every animal except for the monkeys because, I don't know, monkey
It didn't
domination.
matter that it was just a small update, because something massive was on the horizon.
Sniper monkey!
Something I'm almost certain most people watching this have played. But before we get to that, there's just one game left to cover. Bloons 2 Spring Flame.
Blah,
This is the
bruh.
final Bloons. Nothing too interesting here other than
I've said
this
Bloons so many times that my like
Laughing.
like the bruh came out as blah.
The developers were so proud of the one from Bloons 2 that they did it again here. I was so proud
Monkey
of that joke that I did
colonizers?
it again
Uh-huh.
too. Anyways, who wants to be a Bloonionaire? You? Great, because this currency is worthless. Who wants to be a Bloonionaire isn't
What?
really a game and more of a teaser for something else.
I'm telling you guys, Ninja Kiwi saw any genre of game being famous and they're like, we're gonna make that but with monkeys and balloons in any way possible. So now they saw Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and they're like, you know what? Monkey quiz.
You're tasked with completing 10 questions relating to tower upgrades, price, and a bit of Bloons history. Once you complete them all, you're rewarded with a trailer for the next Bloons game. And 14 days later, in December of 2011, BTD5.
Let's
This game
go!
was seriously hyped up. You were either so excited you couldn't wait for its release, or you were patiently waiting for launch day. But even the second type couldn't hold the hype in, and it definitely wasn't unwarranted. For
Okay, that
starters,
looks
this
cool.
was the first game where they got Tim Haywood to compose the music tracks. This same man is still making Bloons music to this day, so I
Hell
think
yeah.
hiring him was a good move. What's
And the music
interesting
is
about
really good. The music of Bloons TD6 is like chef's kiss. It's just so good.
BTD5 Flash is that it got consistent updates for years to come. Despite releasing in 2011, it would continue to be updated up until the end of 2017.
That is
For
so
context,
cool.
In just one
I
year,
love companies just giving updates to old games that still have a player base. Because if people are still playing the game, why not just keep giving it updates, you know? And then if you have a new game like BTD6, okay, you can move your updates to there, understandable.
5 got 9 special missions, reverse mode, special agent pros, numerous specialty buildings, the meerkat spy, tribal turtles.
Whoa! Why are we extending to other animals? I thought we were only monkey gaming. What is happening here? We first get the bears and now we got turtles and
New
shit?
maps. The maps themselves are more challenging. Some might be flooded with water, some even have tunnels, while others block off areas where you can place towers. Previous games just let you put down monkeys wherever, as long as it wasn't on the track. So this change definitely added another layer of strategy. And strategy there was a lot of. BTD4 had only 60 total upgrades, while BTD5 has 144. On top of that, many of the upgrades are either far more powerful or offer some semblance
This map
of
looks
support.
good.
Dart Monkey's triple dart upgrade allows it to pop green balloons instantly or turn whites into yellows. Boomerang can fire at super monkey levels of speed. Tack shooter has an ability. Actually, every tower does, except Var. The dart monkey.
Oh,
can
the
either be
tack
a
shooter ability is literally the thing that Geraldo does with his blade
Tack
trap.
shooter has an ability. Actually, every tower does, except Var. The dart monkey can either be a juggernaut or a super monkey fan club, turning 10 nearby darts into super monkeys. My
Hell
favorite
yeah.
part about this upgrade is the old bug where you could create a hypersonic juggernaut by upgrading a dart monkey after
Oh hey, we have this map in Bloons TD6 as well. I've played this map.
placing it. This effect of course stacked, allowing you to utterly destroy Moabs with a single catapult.
Also, we finally
actually
got
is really
the
fire
classic
upgrades in
Moabs, like the
terms of-
Moabs that, like the Moabs finally look like the Moabs that they look right now.
But its Blade Maelstrom counterpart. If you have the money, you can literally put this thing down specifically to destroy leaking balloons and sell it. It's like a get out of jail free card for all non-Moab balloons. The boat
The water looks moldy. That's crazy.
destroys the early game with the Grape Shots upgrade and can hook in a BFB with its ability.
Hell yeah,
The
I
wizard
love this
summons
ability.
that move up better, the mortar stuns balloons over the whole screen, Spike Factory storms spikes, and the Monkey Ace lets you
Oh
nuke
yeah,
the map.
this is like
Pure fun to
modern
see a bunch
Bloons.
of wacky ideas thrown together to defend incoming balloons. The upgrades are always so creative that you almost want to purchase towers just to see what they would do. This leads you to
Yeah.
the late game where you begin to have no idea what the hell is happening on screen. I really like the new towers as well. The Sniper Monkey
Sniper
explores
Monkey!
the concept of a full map range tower that can completely stun the strongest Bloons, while the Ninja throws projectiles that follow Bloons, which is extremely strong, especially when you upgrade him to throw 5 shurikens at once. The Ninja also has a flash bomb which stuns Bloons and an ability that halves the speed of everything for 15 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, the Sniper will drop a supply crate full of cash, and oh my god, this is awful. I paid so much for this tower and you're giving me a few $100s in return. Is this a late April Fool's joke? Because why would I pay so much for this garbage supply crate when I could buy a farm? The farm is absolutely busted in this game. It now produces a certain number of bananas that you must collect. The bank path is pretty much worthless, but that doesn't matter when the factory mass produces all the money you need.
Oh yeah,
It
don't
helps
tell
that
them
you can
about
place-
Bloons TD6 because in Bloons TD5's bank looks like it's useless, but Bloons TD6's bank apparently is the most OP upgrade you can go for. So they
From a
definitely
village,
buffed
new monkey
the
people to
bank.
reduce the cost of expensive factories by 10%. The developers for some reason thought that giving the village discounts on every upgrade was a
Monkey agriculture? We got monkey capitalism.
good idea. By just placing down an unupgraded village, you can save $10,000 on the strongest tower in the game, the temple. They turned the Easter egg from 4 into the
Hey,
final
the true
Super
sun
Monkey
god
Pack, and it is
thingy.
awesome. The strength of the temple entirely depends on what you sacrifice to it. But when you finally get the money, it's all worth it. Nothing can get past this guy. And,
I
well,
really appreciate Ninja Kiwi just being wacky and weird and just putting the most random shit in their games because it just makes it so much fun to just upgrade your monkeys to random ass monkeys and doing the most random shit and watching all the balloons pop.
What you
It's just
expect
so
from
cool.
the tower that's God himself. You can get multiple of these guys, which is fun. Just be careful not to accidentally sacrifice a temple to another temple, otherwise you lose a Blooninian dollars. But can it handle the new strongest Bloon? A Bloon
Uh-oh.
so massive, so humongous.
Is it the
that it
Zombg?
holds 4 BFBs
Oh yeah, the
inside.
Zombg.
This is the ZOMG. And you can insta-kill it with the submarine's ability. The
Bruh.
monkey sub is another new tower.
Ooh, the
although
sub!
weirdly enough,
I
it
love the
wasn't
sub.
here at launch. It took 4 years for them to add another tower to the game, but wow is it amazing. For a cheap cost, you can get this upgrade called Advanced Intel. So advanced
yeah.
it can shoot balloons in the range of other towers. It can even
Advanced
see
Intel is
camo
so
balloons.
OP. Once I found out about Advanced Intel in Bloons TD6, I use it all the time. It's just so powerful.
As long as the tower it's using also sees camo. And yeah, in this game, camo balloons aren't their own balloon, but a full-on type. So what do? You decamo them. The submarine submerge option lets it reveal camouflaged balloons to other monkeys. So does the mortar and the village. But God himself doesn't? What sort of logic is this game following? Wait,
True.
I take that back. This game has co-op. That automatically puts it in the top 5 games of all time. Well, kind of. Although playing Bloons Tower
Wait, what was
Defense
that?
with your
Oh, that's
top
God of
5
War.
games
Oh
of
yeah.
all time. Well, kind of. Although playing Bloons Tower Defense with your friends is a nice idea, the lag would be unbearable. Sometimes you get
Yikes.
stuck on a round, unable to start the next one because your teammate's 1992 computer has yet to finish the previous round. The lag would be so bad that Bloons would even get popped by seemingly nothing. But it's okay because it introduces the legendary feature of typing to your teammate. If
Oh,
he
yeah.
even bothers to connect, that is. Well, whatever. My special agent friends would never leave me. Never mind, I'm all out of monkey money. The special agents are a type of tower purchasable after beating a few maps. One of them being the beekeeper from BTD4. You can't upgrade these guys, and their only purpose seems to be to skip a few of the early rounds. Though there is
Okay,
also
so
some
they were
support
like
ones,
basically
the
the idea that led to the hero monkeys, I'm guessing.
Moon and Portable Lake, allowing you to place water towers on land and vice versa. What's cool about the special agents is that using enough of them will permanently unlock a stronger variation. After blowing all of my monkey money on 50 pools, it transformed into something crazy.
Whoa.
A pool with a different color. This pool contains a sea monster of sorts that sometimes attacks the balloons. Great ability. But enough of these dumb power-ups. You have agents that play the early rounds for you.
How is the turtle that fast?
later
Isn't it a
rounds,
turtle?
even specialty buildings to make certain good towers even stronger. I get the feeling.
Oh yeah,
people
that,
were
the true monkey sun god or whatever. The black tower. I've seen that in
I'm
Bloons
sick of being
TD6.
treated like
It
babies
looks really
who
cool.
can't play the game without premiums. Because out of
Ninja Turtle?
nowhere, the
True.
community banded together to create the hardest game mode known to man, Naps Frills. Don't let the
What?
silly sounding name fool you. This is an absolutely devastating rule set that simply means no agents, premiums, specialty, farming, road items, lives lost, or selling. Not only can you not cheese the
Okay,
game
that's
with
that's
monkey
basically chimps, right? Kind of like, yeah, very much like chimps.
money, but neither can you farm, which is how I bet the hardest maps in the game. The person who came up with this idea must also be evil, because leaking just one red balloon is enough to make you fail, and you're not allowed to use road spikes due to the rules. If you hate yourself just the extra bit more, try doing this challenge on the new extreme tracks.
Yikes.
Normal difficulty settings look like this, yet when clicked on an extreme map they turn scary. You know this mode is difficult when the easy mode monkey looks like he survived a war. The hardest extreme map
That's
is
really
tar
cool.
pits, where the balloons have 5 entrances and exits in their own respective tiny circles. The reason I call it the hardest map is because I'm pretty sure the Naps Frills challenge
Okay,
is
I know a little bit of lore about this. I know that in Bloons TD6, in the map Spa Pits, if you press the rocks that surround the Spa Pits in a specific order, it turns into this map, the Tar Pits, and you can defeat the Tar Pits. I know. I know my monkey
spent
lore.
so long looking for even the slightest hint of someone achieving this, but the best I got was someone doing it without agents, someone who did it on easy with only specialty buildings, and another guy who did only the Naps part and afforded multiple temples. However, because no one could do a full Naps Frills run of this map, I award it with the hardest map in the game award. But let's
I
say you
wonder
don't want to spend your
if it's even possible. Like, no one can do it, and I'm guessing Bloons already had a huge fan base by Bloons TD5, so it might just be impossible to do tar pits in like Naps Frills mode. If someone does manage to do it though, it's not going to be me. I'm not talented enough, nor do I have enough patience to actually grind out the map and learn all the tidbits about how to do it. But yeah, if someone does manage to do it in extreme mode, in Naps Frills, whatever, they are gonna make history, like actual Bloons history.
time, dying over and over again due to self-imposed rules. Something different from the normal gameplay without being overly challenging. Don't worry, Ninja Kiwi has you covered. Special missions make a return in 5 and they don't work in the archive.
I'm
It's
guessing
fine. I will
it was
talk
like
about-
time gated. That's why like the times have already run out, so they don't work in the archive version.
These later even if they aren't available in the virus version. A similar thing happened with the daily
I think someone beat the BTD6 one in chimps, but I'm guessing the BTD6 one is easier because we have more different types of monkeys and newer ways to complete it. I feel like BTD5 one is definitely much harder. And that's why it's
challenges, which I
still
think
not
are one of the
completed to this
coolest
day.
parts of the game. A large part of previous Bloons titles is the custom community levels, so having players submit challenges you can play is nice. My favorite one is the one
yeah.
where the farms
I love
band
community
together
maps.
to pop all the deadly red balloons that appear on round 100. Another funny one is the May 22nd, 2016 one, which has nothing to do with the challenge itself, but rather the hacked challenge that appeared in its place. Someone hacked into the Ninja Kiwi servers and
Oh,
added
yikes.
this monstrosity as the daily challenge. Obviously, it was quickly removed, but it's funny to think that for a short time you were able to get 420,000 XP for beating round 200.
Whoa.
Somehow the daily challenges just kept getting made until 2018 when the final one appeared. By this point, BTD6 would have been released, and yet they were still adding user-submitted challenges every day
That is
to the
really cute,
Flash
though.
version. Realistically, it was just one guy doing the work, but man, that guy is epic. Flash was about to die, and this guy still actively
That
updated
is
the game.
so cool for like the community in general. I'm gonna guess most people were already moving on to BTD6, but for the company to still give BTD5 players things till the end of Flash is just really cute.
I wonder how Ninja Kiwi plans
Like,
to top
yeah,
this
they
game.
are a bit greedy with the monkey money, but I think they're just a really good company because they always put their community first. And technically, you can get all the monkey money from grinding the game anyway, so you don't really have to spend any money if you want to just get the monkey money by grinding. So you can do that, which is really cool.
I mean, it took over 2 years to develop. Anything Bloons related that comes out now is going to pale in comparison. You can't beat the game that gives you the dirty hacker detected screen if you're caught cheating. This is real, by the way. They actually put this face into the game. In just 2 days
That's
after
cool.
BTD5, we got Bloons 2 Mobile. There is a few differences.
Yo,
between
why
the
are we
Flash
why
and
are we
mobile
still
versions.
doing the Bloons 2? No one gives a shit about Bloons 2. I'm sorry. Everyone wants Bloons TD. Like, guys, come on.
But they are minor. The main one being the replacement of harder levels with easier alternatives, which might actually make this game fun. I don't know. You can't play it anymore unless you have an ancient Apple device. If you do happen to play it though, you'll be cursed with the same music looping over and over again because they forgot to port the different world teams to the mobile
Yikes.
port. Then a few months after the release of Bloons 2 Mobile, they decided to also port the first game? What? What?
Why?
No.
I mean,
That's it. The new Bloons is not out anymore. I'm skipping time forward to May 2012 because that's when BTD5 Deluxe came out.
hell yeah.
For only $705 from the year 1900, you could purchase a more excellent version of an excellent game that you can launch from your desktop. BTD5 Deluxe existed for only 2 years, at which point the game was ported over to Steam and mobile, leaving this title behind in the dust. The Steam versions are the exact same thing as the Deluxe version, only with more updates that were added over time. And this
The
cool
art
side
style
up
definitely
distracts
got
you from
better.
the fact that this game is played in a box. And you have 3 new powerful towers. And I don't use that word lightly. These guys feel like they were designed to be as cool as possible, so you would buy this game. The second you place the helicopter,
Oh,
the
I love
game
the helicopter.
forcefully tells you how epic and strong the tower you just placed is. And it's not wrong. This guy literally follows the Bloons.
Yeah,
and can be
the
upgraded into an
pursuit
Apache helicopter.
ability is
Then
so
there's the
good.
engineer monkey, which spawns sentry guns.
I don't
acting
really
as
use
multiple
an engineer
towers. Though,
monkey
to be
much.
honest, I didn't use him all that much. since the
Yeah,
sentries came out.
yes, Orange. Exactly. I feel like Orange and I are in such a like similar wavelength. Whatever I'm saying, he's saying as well. And I haven't seen this video before, so
Places where you can place towers. And then there's the tower that might actually be stronger than the farm. The farm is without a doubt the best tower in the franchise. I mean, let me buy a temple before round 65. That should speak volumes. But the balloon chipper is just so good. Without even upgrading it, you can protect yourself from the ceramics of a Moab. I'm not even joking. If you're worried about the ceramics running through your defense, just put this guy down and its base form is enough to stall all the balloons. If the
Ooh.
glue gunner is good because he can slow down balloons, then the balloon chipper must be a
we don't have Bloon Chipper and Bloons TD6, right?
god
Or
because
did it become like a power up or something? Like a power, yeah.
he can suck up balloons, stopping them in place. It even affects Moabs, which
Whoa,
is something
whoa.
that Glue Gunner and Ice Monkey can't do.
That
If
is-
you can
that is
stall
funny.
the strongest balloon in the game while slowly killing it, then you might be a good tower. This isn't even the balloon chipper's final form, but we'll get to that later. Mastery mode. Instead of these
It's in the scrapyard map, so they made it like map specific. I'm guessing it was too OP.
boring self-imposed challenges, you can now play BTD5 except every balloon is 1 rank higher than they normally are. Though at least farms aren't banned. Imagine the nightmare this would be if you had to play with normal amounts of money. Unfortunately, I couldn't play through Mastery mode on camera, as for some reason the game requires you to get all medals on 17 easy maps first, along with 39 bronze medals from other tracks. Now, if this sounds grindy as hell, then you'd be correct. But you might be thinking, oh, well clearly that limitation is there so that you learn the game's mechanics and unlock the towers before you can play the hardest. You naive fool. Clearly you didn't read the fine print. After doing all this time wasting, you unlock Mastery mode for beginner maps.
Bruh.
Only beginner maps. If you want to challenge yourself and play Mastery mode on the hardest map, you gotta repeat this process 3 more times for intermediate, advanced, and then expert maps.
That
which
is
effectively means
really
getting every
grindy.
medal in the game. Why does this game love the idea of me spending the rest of my life at the computer? I thought you wanted me to go outside. This is giving me mixed messages. Though, to be fair, there is still other fun game modes like the special missions, which, okay, they were all in the Flash version version, but I couldn't play them, so here we are. This is the official special mission difficulty tier list.
Okay.
In F tier, we have the easiest mission, and the only one you can beat in under a minute. 50k for 50 Moabs. Is it as hard as the BTD4 version? Not really. Super monkeys still don't work, but it's very easy. Once again, normal aces are enough to completely shred the Moabs, but even without that information, you can just ground zero everything, causing it to instantly disappear. Moving up to D tier, we have missions that are still very easy, but can't be bet in the snap of a finger. Protect Monkey Town is exactly what you think it is. Protect the village from the Bloons while you exploit the free village for discounts and extra money. I tried sacrificing
that
the
is
village
really
to a
cool.
temple,
I
but
love
it didn't work.
challenges.
So
Like,
for that reason, I'm moving it down to F tier.
like it makes the
Covert
game so much more interesting to have challenges like
Pops
this.
as only camo and special agents only bans every tower, making money completely useless. I don't think I've ever seen something so blatantly pay to win as this mission. It's not really hard,
yeah,
but
true.
it does make me wonder if there's an alternate universe where we have turtles popping balloons instead of monkeys. So for that reason, I'm moving it down
I mean,
to
if
F
the
tier.
wife said we need turtles popping balloons instead of monkeys back in 2006, then we would have turtles.
E tier. Now this is the tier that separates the men from the slightly smaller men. In Full House, you can only place down 5 towers at a time, which sounds hard but really isn't. Then there's
Yeah, it
Short
shouldn't
Lived,
be
which
hard
gives
because
me
most of the time people suggest having less towers and just upgrading them to crazy levels.
existential dread. Any monkey you place down dies after 10 rounds.
Bruh.
That's no exaggeration, just look at the image of the mission. The best way to beat it is to spam cheap towers that are effective, so you don't lose money due to your monkeys constantly ditching you. This of course means spamming as many triple darts as possible, and then you win. Someone should make a tower defense game where your towers dying is a core mechanic. Actually, please don't. It is terrifying going AFK for a few minutes and coming back to an empty screen. Another cool mission is no escape. There is no exit for the Bloons, and instead they keep looping around this circle forever until you pop them. If the round lasts for more than 30 seconds, then you start losing lives. It's a fun idea, though it doesn't last very long. And due to the ridiculous amounts of money you gain, the best strategy ends up being spamming ground zeros. In there can only be one of each tower. In Wizard Lord, you must sacrifice your towers to the wizard or he eats your soul. Every
Whoa.
second round, your most expensive monkey will be eaten by this wizard guy. Luckily, the Wizard Lord...
That sounds like the idea for the Paragons. That's literally how the Paragons work, right? Like the wizard Paragon, you just sacrifice a bunch of monkeys to make it a wizard Paragon, and the more sacrifices you do, the more powerful they are. Oh, I only know this because I watched a YouTube video. I've been consuming a lot of Bloons content nowadays, as you guys can tell. But yeah, I have never made a Paragon myself because I don't think I have the patience.
Really strong. He has 4 upgrades on both sides of the wizard, giving him fire tornadoes and a cool phoenix. This might have been my favorite mission due to how micro heavy it is. Finally, we have fast upgrades. Now this one is really good. You have to survive 5 rounds of scaling difficulty, but there's a twist. At the end of each round, every tower gets upgraded 1 time. You
That
need
sounds
to
good.
abuse this mechanic as much as possible, because if you don't, you won't have enough money to beat the BFBs on round 5. I started by
yikes.
using submarines and ninjas, but both failed horribly, mostly due to the leads on round 3. Then I had the crazy idea of using sniper with glue gunner to slow the balloons down, and it actually worked. A cheap ice tower gets upgraded into a strong ice tower, and then I use a ground zero for the
Why
last
is the
round,
ice
which
monkey,
failed.
the ice tower monkey inside the ice? Like, why is the ice monkey
The BFBs
frozen?
are definitely the
Looks
hardest
kind of
part.
cool
You
though,
really
I'm
do
gonna be
not
honest.
get any money in this game mode, so the strongest tower ends up being the one you placed on the first round. No matter what I tried, I never even got close to popping the BFBs. That is, until I remembered the dart monkey. Triple darts are so cheap to buy, yet the upgrade afterwards is Super Funky Man Club, which completely destroys the BFBs and lets me win the mission. Easy
yeah.
C tier. On B tier, we have nothing because I already did all the missions, you stupid. Overall, 5 is the first game that actually feels like a game I would regularly play, rather than a flash title you revisit for nostalgia. You have fun gameplay, cool missions with a little bit of grind on the side. But what's most interesting to me about this 10-year-old game is that it still gets updates to this day.
That is
despite there
crazy.
being a BTD6 and multiple
That
other
is crazy. I genuinely think the people who made this game really love it. And you can see the love and passion for it because they're still giving it updates. Because they don't have to. Because Bloons TD6 exists. And like everyone wants to play the new game, right? So no one would really be mad at you if you completely like avoid Bloons TD5 and like just keep working on Bloons TD6 upgrades, like move on from the previous game. But the only reason for them to give updates is basically their passion and love for that game, which is amazing. I love that. It is crazy.
titles that have come out since. They aren't the craziest thing, but an occasional new map tells me that someone at Ninja Kiwi is still working on this game, which
Yeah.
is insane. I mean, they hosted a map competition before. You
That
could
is so
literally just
cute.
open Microsoft Paint, draw a few lines, and boom, you've just created the new Halloween map. Unfortunately, there's
crazy.
no user-submitted challenges because it's been replaced by an AI that spits out random challenges every time you come back. Earlier, I said
mean,
that
that's
the Steam
okay.
version of BTD5
It's just a
has all
randomizer.
the features of the deluxe version, but that isn't true. There's small stuff like the watermelon spitter and mad snowman agents or a few distinct maps, but then there's the 4 special missions that are completely exclusive to the deluxe edition. Mix and match gives you 1 free tower every round, money management requires you to reach a certain amount of money to beat it, and while Ninja Kiwi said they weren't going to add these game modes back, they were implemented anyway through events. The Crucible is really creative. You have to beat 15 rounds with not a lot of money, however anything you place on these 2 pillars shoots at hypersonic speeds. Anything that already shot really fast like the Bio Boomer will shoot even faster, winning you the game for free. And then there's Direct Assault, or as BTD5 called it, the Bloon Invasion. On this map you send your monkeys to the trenches
These
in
are
order
like
to
just
defend
really cool
against
maps.
50 rounds of
It is
incoming
really-
balloons.
I just
which by the
like the passion behind the maps, you know? Like they didn't just make a game and just moved on, you know? They kept making newer, more challenging, more creative maps. And so the community that they have already built now has new challenges and new ways of figuring out what to do with it. And I think that's really cool. Just to give people more and more creative ways to use a pre-established game. W devs, Mexi's
way,
been
all
30
travel
minutes,
in
yep.
6 straight lines,
Okay,
so if you can't
standing up.
defend, you die. In real life, if that wasn't bad enough, most of your towers are restricted other than the military looking ones. This event mission was so difficult that in
Whoa,
the
is that
footage-
is that a dinosaur? What is that? Or is that a shark? What's this? Who's this guy with the sunglasses? Kind of looks cool.
I found everyone had to use
I
some
think
sort
I
of
think this dinosaur and stuff turned into the Beastmaster because I tried out the Beastmaster and it can summon like fishes and dinosaurs and stuff, and I like that concept. I like a Beastmaster monkey who can literally summon other animals after they probably killed the animals who used to exist.
special agent in order to defend the early rounds, and for that reason Direct Assault is going into S tier on my difficulty tier list.
Hell
But
yeah.
BTD5 isn't going to last forever, so therefore we need a new game. When you think about it, Bloons Tower Defense is really just a successful iteration of Bloons. They tried to recapture the magic of tower defense with titles like Bloons Super Monkey or Bloons Pop 3, but it never really worked.
Yeah, but
Now,
they
even
weren't
Bloons
tower
itself has
defense. Like Bloons Pop 3 was literally Candy Crush, and Bloons Super Monkey was literally Asteroid or whatever the airplane game is. Yeah, I understand them exploring different genres to see what works, but yeah, their tower defense formula is the best one.
mostly been forgotten about by this point. Bloons World closed down in 2014, so
Aw.
you can't even interact with the community levels anymore. So in order to make a new popular title, we need to think outside of the box. Instead of making spin-offs from Bloons, why not make a game based on Bloons Tower Defense 5?
Let's
and
go!
So BTD Battles was born. This is my favorite version of
I thought we were going I thought we were going to Bloons Tower Defense 6, but
Bloons. In battles, you're matched up with another player where the objective is to kill them by sending Bloons. If you ever hated your useless co-op teammate, then this is definitely the game for you. Winning is not as easy as
This sounds
just sending
fun.
a
You can
BFB
literally
and
torture
hoping
your
for the
friends
best. For
with
one, you
this
don't
one.
have all the Bloon sends unlocked, each of them unlocking every 2 rounds. But more importantly, you do not gain money for popping Bloons or at the end of the round. You now gain a certain amount of cash every 6 seconds indicated by this green number. This is your eco, and you can increase your eco by sending weaker Bloons, not to kill your opponent, but to
Interesting.
make more money. Or to kill your opponent, they might just be that bad. While most Bloon sends pay themselves off over time, the
This
bigger
sounds so
Bloons like
fun. You can
Moabs
actually torture your friends. You can literally like ask your friends to be the monkeys and then you just spam them with
will
balloons.
lower your eco, making them risky to send, as if your opponent defends the rush, then you lose a bunch of your income. That is, unless you have farms. For whatever reason, Ninja Kiwi decided it would be a good idea to make bananas worth 50% more than in BTD5, effectively making the strongest tower in the game even stronger. Another reason farms are so good in battles is that they act as an investment. In battles, you typically don't try to build the most unstoppable defense, as that would be a huge waste of money. That money can go into making more money through eco or farms. You should only ever buy or upgrade towers after your opponent sends a rush, otherwise you'll be wasting a huge amount of time preparing for something that might not even come. There's a lot more to it than that, mainly micro, but that's the basic idea. The only other noteworthy feature is that adding camo or regrow to Moabs makes the insides camo and regrow. I'm not sure how popular this game was, although I know some people really enjoyed it.
I mean, this
Enough to
looks
make a
really fun to
competitive
play with your
scene for
friends.
the game, calling it King of the Hill, eventually leading to this moment where the top 2 players fought for the title of the Battle's King. Although
Damn.
neither of these 2 guys ever did anything ever again, so I don't know why I mentioned it. I think the funniest part of this game
Wait, what?
is ever did anything ever.
Oh, they got really famous. Hell yeah. So the top 2 players of Bloons battles just became like really famous Bloons channels? Hell yeah.
Again, so I don't know why I mentioned it. I think the funniest part of this game is how you can talk to your opponent. In a world where chatting in 1v1 games is banned and restricted to emotes, BTD battles let you trash talk your opponent mid-game.
That
In the
would have been
Steam version of
chaotic.
BTD battles, the chat was removed, but it still exists in the Flash version of battles, allowing you to
I can
bribe
only
hackers with
imagine the number
promise
of slurs people just like let it out there when they were
being
playing
in a
Bloons
YouTube
battles.
video. Because unfortunately, sometimes you'd get matched up with people using infinite money cheats. How fun. Sadly, I can't actually play the game since the servers for the archive have gone down. Though thankfully the process of buying medallions is still fully functional, letting me purchase a currency I can't even use. Thanks, Ninja Kiwi. But before I talk about Battles Mobile, it's time for Bloons Super Monkey 2. They forgot to monetize the
Why
last
do they?
one, so
Why do they keep going for these random ass titles? Just make more Bloons TD, guys. We don't need.
they made a sequel. The
a
original game
sequel
was
to
already
Bloons
fun
Super
by itself,
Monkey.
but this one is even more so. This is basically the same game with more stuff and a story. And by that I mean
I love Isab. He beat Bloody Puddle Chimps. Damn, he's locked in.
you don't have to beat the game all in one go. Rather, slowly beating all
just
the
always-
levels through 4 worlds.
It's just always so interesting to look at like people who are famous in the Bloons community who started when Bloons was like really small and now succeed as creators. Like I love watching like Minecraft YouTubers, not the new ones, but the ones who have been with the Minecraft community for years now. Like who's the guy who wears the okay, I'm forgetting every name for some reason, but the guy who wears the Naruto's Ito's Lab. This guy is an OG. Like Ito's Lab has been making Minecraft content for like more than 17 years now, I'm pretty sure. And it's just so interesting to see because he still makes Minecraft content. He is part of Hermitcraft, which is a series that I really love because I love the creators in Hermitcraft. So yeah, it's just super interesting to see these people like kind of grow up with their franchises.
You're so smart, Mr. Monkey Man, then why don't you play the game yourself, huh? If you run into a situation where you can't beat the Bloons, then you'll have to replay older levels to level yourself up. And wow, these levels are pitifully easy once your Super Monkey is close to maxed out. The Bloons got vaporized the second they came on
I mean,
screen.
it is
looked
a
like the
cute
Bloons
game,
were
I
making
guess.
the shape of bees, beehives, and birds, but I honestly can't tell with how fast they disappeared off screen. What I like most about this game are its new Bloon types. In the first area, a new type of Bloon is introduced, that being the shielded Bloon, taking 5 extra hits to pop and can push the player around should they come in contact. These are annoying for many reasons. On top of being extremely difficult to pop, they tend to trap you in a circle of death if you're not careful. I even got moved off the screen at one point, but thankfully the game didn't pull a hot air balloon and soft lock me. The Moab is the boss for this area before you're transported to a desert.
That
And
is
then
kind
the
of
boss
fun.
for the area is the BFB, which is kinda generic, and then it sends you to the ocean. This is the first area where you
So
can feel
chaotic
the
too,
power
holy.
of the shielded Bloons. This wheel is made of weak green Bloons,
Whoa.
but because they are shielded, destroying them makes them a massive chore. Although to be honest, I feel like we're the bad guys and not the shielded Bloons. I don't recall the Bloons doing anything bad in this game. The only thing that happens is Dr. Monkey goes, "Hey, they're in the jungle. Can you go kill them? Great job. They're all dead. Now go to the desert and exterminate all the Bloons." Oh
I mean,
no.
isn't that what we are doing in Bloons Star Defense as well? The Bloons aren't really. They might be just walking back to their home, and we are just killing them while they're on the road. Because they don't really fight back. They're just walking on a path, and we decide to kill them all.
Radar scanner
So,
can't detect
I think the
Bloons.
monkeys are the
That's
bad guys
because they're
here.
underwater. Like the super monkey is just some guy who lives in this expensive villa and
Whoa.
hunts Bloons for no reason in his free time.
Rich ass
Bloons,
monkey.
which, by the way, tend to form together into shapes of various animals. The boss of this area appears to be a squid made of Bloons. However,
Whoa,
upon
that is
destroying
cool.
the outer layer, it's revealed that it was a squid-themed blimp all along. They could have easily gone with the easy option of boss equals
Why do we lose lives then? I have no clue. Like, whose life is it anyway? Like, do we know? Do we know whose life, health we are losing? Are we like the monkey boss man who controls the monkeys? And if the balloons leak through, they beat us up and we die? Like, I don't know.
DOMG, but they actually added a new balloon type to this game, which is cool. After an easy boss fight, you end up in the final area, which is once again Mount Magma. I haven't
It is so
mentioned it yet, but
chaotic,
the
looks
music for this
kind of
game
fun.
is so unexpectedly good. Like, this is the game where the title screen looks like this, and the music is just...
Whoa. That is so
Final
cool.
boss is a giant lead balloon that protects itself by
Okay,
pushing
I'm
you
sorry
off
for
with its
hating on this
arms,
game.
and its boss
I like
theme
it now.
sounds like this.
Whoa, they really went crazy with the music.
Like, calm down, man. This is the game where a monkey throws darts at Bloons. You didn't have to
Yeah.
hit this hard.
They
But
really
back to
cooked with
battles. The mobile port of the game just got released. The biggest change is the new Tower Boost and Bloon Boost. These powers are so powerful, I now get war flashbacks from the Bloon Boost sound. You can make your towers attack faster or make the balloons move faster for a limited time
Okay.
before a cooldown is applied. And you're only allowed to use 3 in each game. What seems like a simple feature completely changes how you look at the game. If your opponent Bloon boosts a rush, it's usually a good idea to tower boost so your monkeys aren't at a disadvantage. But what happens if your opponent sends you a big rush without Bloon boosting? You could just not tower boost and save one for later, but that is a lot of Bloons, so I'll do it anyway.
That was so easy.
And
to
then
do.
this
Oh my
stuff gets
God.
boosted at you and you can't do anything because it's on cooldown and you die. This is a
Wow.
common strategy.
Who's
used to
talking
kill
in the
people.
background?
Send them a few smaller balloons to make the opponent panic, causing them to boost. Before you balloon boost them the actual rush. The other new powers are these 3 road spikes, which you can use to pop all the round 1 balloons in order to rush a farm as early as possible like
Damn.
the rat you are. If you thought $30 per banana was absurd, then wait till you find out that in this game they're $60. 60. If your
Damn.
opponent sends you
This sounds like it's gonna be
absolutely nothing
super
the whole
chaotic.
game, you can even get a factory up before Moabs are unlocked. That is a huge money lead. What will you do now, Reddit Maxwell.png? Oh. This game mode sucked anyways. I'm going to play defense mode instead, where people literally can't rush you. That's right. Instead of trying to kill your opponent like the title suggests, you just sit there and do nothing until someone dies to the AI Bloons. Gee, I wonder why no one plays this mode. Now, there is a lot of strategies you could use in this game.
The maps look so cool.
But my favorite involves the Sniper Monkey. It's not a good strategy, but it's funny, so that instantly puts it in the top tier. You can actually place towers underneath the UI, which can be used to pop balloons without having any visible towers on screen.
Are you cheating?
Whoa, what?
There is a few other towers that can actually defend grouped balloons, and even make money off of them, but never, ever use this guy, okay? Blue Gunner cannot target Moabs or Camo Bloons, so if you click the random button and your loadout looks like this, good luck. If you want an actual good strategy, it's this. What a shocker. The two most broken towers in the game are actually really good. What do you know? Like
Bloons
I
Battle
said,
looks
Farm
fun.
gives $60
If you
per
have
banana,
friends, that
which
is.
turns
Or
into
you can
$900
matchmake
per
online, right?
crate once fully
So-
upgraded. The Chipper, on the other hand, can suck in Moabs and hold them in place. Playing a single upgrade lets you completely destroy ZOMGs.
That is so funny. The image of this giant ass balloon getting stuck into this thing and just is just struggling to get out is just so funny.
Strategy, you become unstoppable. The only thing that could make your loadout stronger is if the random fort tower turns out to be ace, because then you can do this.
Whoa.
Speaking of random fort towers, this is a really interesting mechanic. On one hand, it makes the game a little unbalanced.
This looks complicated as shit,
But it can
holy.
also make an
I bet
identical
like
strategy feel
people who
different.
were really good at Bloons battles must be sweaty as fuck. Like this looks super complicated.
Every time. Towers that would normally never be picked, like the Ice Monkey or Ninja, suddenly become very useful as their abilities let you slow down Moabs in the late game. Same goes for other abilities like the Blade Maelstrom, the boat's BFB takedown
The
ability,
Blade Maelstrom.
Spike Storm,
That's
First
literally
Strike,
the
or even
power
the
that Geraldo inherited with his blade trap.
Its BFB takedown ability, Spike Storm, First Strike, or even the Village, which significantly reduces the price of a factory, putting you ahead in the money game. Even something as horrible as the Glue Gunner can be used to pop lead balloons at a cheap price. You could also just get the Heli Pilot, who to be fair has a very funny glitch that lets you stack towers on top of each other. Rushing is by far the best
okay.
aspect of this game. There is something weirdly captivating about sending your opponent a BFB and then just watching. Can he defend it, or will he die? Or will he just send me balloons while I was busy watching his screen? Sometimes you'll get sent something so big, so undefendable, that your
Yikes.
only option is to send your opponent lower class balloons that move faster in the hopes that they die before you
That
do.
is so fun. That actually sounds so fun. Like imagine you are getting blasted by your opponent because your opponent is spamming balloons. So instead of defending, you start spamming your opponent, waiting for him to surrender or some miracle to happen. So he leaks balloons before you do. Like that sounds so fun. You can actually
And it's this
torture
massive back
your
and forth
opponent
where you
if
send
you're
the guy
smart
something,
enough.
he defends it, sells his towers, and sends you something.
Can't believe this video is like 2 hours long. This video is like 3 hours long actually. It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes. And I'm having a lot of fun. We have about 1 hour 26 minutes more to go. We can lock in. Let's go.
And then your turn to defend, and it keeps going like that until someone sells all of their towers in a last-ditch Hail Mary to try and kill the opponent. Unfortunately, most people that played the game don't seem to know you can even send balloons. Using the in-game TV feature, I watched a few players play the game, and the results were interesting. A surprising amount of people don't send balloons to increase their economy. They just kinda sit there until they die. It's like they're trying to play BTD 5 but in battles.
Yeah,
You'd
I
have
think
full
they don't
games
know
where neither
that
player
the-
sends each
yeah.
other anything, and then they just die to natural ceramics. It's really weird. There's some people who play the versus version of BTD 5 just to play BTD 5. Like, come on, man, just buy the other game. What are you doing playing this one? There's even a Steam guide on how to play this way, which is so weird. Why would you download the game where you can send balloons to your opponent, only to never send balloons to
True,
your opponent?
true.
For some
That's
reason,
the
this type
fun
of
part,
player
torturing
really
your
liked the
opponents.
Wizard Monkey, and at the time, it became became known as the Noob Tower. Probably because this tornado upgrade is capable of killing you. You send a few regrow balloons and this happens.
Whoa.
What I found most interesting about this game, upon revisiting it, is just how bare bones it was at launch. The wiki wasn't very reliable, so I had to use the official Ninja Kiwi update videos to get information. And it took them a full year to add the submarine. It took them 1 year to add a
Yikes.
tower that was already in BTD5. Also, fun fact, this Sam guy has been making these update videos for almost 10 years. So thanks Sam for carrying the research I did in this video. Most of the updates
Does he
were
still?
either
Is it still Sam who makes these videos? I want to check. Wait, they are the people who made Monkey Meadows? I watched this trailer.
Friends and lasting memories.
Oh, that's the DLC of this game. I remember watching this trailer and I was so confused because I didn't know this was like a Bloons extension. I literally thought this was a different game. And I was like, okay, that looks cool. That looks like a cozy, like a, I don't know what you call this game, like an exploration game. Okay, let's see if Sam's still locked in.
What's up, guys? It's Sam here at Ninja Kiwi, and
Hey!
welcome to Bloons TD6.
That
So
is
we're kicking things off with
crazy.
a literal bang in this update.
That imagine being the guy who has been providing Bloons TD updates for 10 years now. That is crazy. That is so cool. Hell yeah, Sam. Sam is locked in. Okay, let's go.
maps or decals you could put on your balloons. But everything
That is so cute.
changed
That is
when-
so cute that they kept the same guy for 10 years.
This tower is so broke. They added a new tower exclusive. Can you stop skipping the video, you ape? 16 months after release, the Cobra was added to battles. The Cobra was absolutely broken on launch.
Okay,
Not
who's
only could
Cobra?
you spend 500 eco to shoot your opponent in real life, but his lifesteal ability would eventually kill the opponent. You
That
don't
was
have to send
imagine having a monkey money option where you can actually shoot your opponent in real life. Like you actually hire a hitman. It would probably cost like 1 million monkey money. That would be pretty funny.
any balloons is to buy a few attrition cobras and wait for the opponent to die. I imagine that became the meta, especially since not having a cobra to steal the lost lives back would put you at a disadvantage. So, if you can't beat them, then join them. Though joining them was a bit difficult. You had to either pay up $5 or win about 1,000 games worth of medallions.
Yikes.
The attrition upgrade is one thing, but the horrible grind to unlock the cobra is just disgusting.
pay to
Other than
win.
that, this is a pretty fun tower. The balloon adjustment upgrade makes the AI balloons stronger, allowing you to finally bully those defense mode players for playing a bad game mode. It also acts as a mini farm, giving you money each round and even allowed you to redirect blimps to your opponent. You could hide the Cobra underneath the UI, so when your opponent sends
That's
you a BFB,
evil.
you can jump scare them by moving the same BFB back to their side.
That is so
The most
evil.
interesting upgrade was offensive push.
That
as it
is
allowed you to
actually
send
evil,
balloons
holy.
one round before they would get unlocked. On the surface, this is a pretty useless upgrade, or at least that's what I thought until I saw tournament players getting absolutely destroyed by someone using this upgrade. Indoor pools is one of the shortest maps in the game, and on top of that you have to deal with 3 different paths, making it very difficult to defend on. Typically games would end on round 13 thanks to the infamous regrow rainbow rush, although
Okay.
obviously players in a tournament would have figured out the methods to deal with this rush, or that was until a player by the name of Aliens Rock shows up with some cobras. While his opponents may have been prepared for rainbows on round 13, what no one expected was the same rush a single round earlier. I watched countless games, and as far as I can tell, every single player Aliens Rock faced died to this strategy, so I'd say it's pretty good.
He
Now,
was
with all
locked
that
in.
said,
Isn't Aliens Rock the guy who became a YouTuber as well? Wasn't he the guy who was also playing the final of Bloons TD battle, like Bloons Battles 1? I think it's the same
Cobra
guy,
has
right?
its drawbacks. Despite having a literal gun, this tower is horrible at popping balloons. It shoots slowly and pops a single balloon, and it can't hit camo. But it's a fair downside for the ability to bully defense mode players, so I'll take it. Other than the new Cobra update, battles had fairly minimal updates apart from maps. There wasn't even balance patches, so Cobra killing you through lifesteal was something you just had to deal with for almost a year, until in August of 2015, when the game game finally became playable. Previously, you had to slowly grind for medallions to unlock every tower, but with the introduction of arenas, you just had to gamble a few times and boom, you have more
yes,
money than you know
gambling.
what to do with. The game is finally playable and the Cobra can no longer kill you with attrition.
I love gambling.
They also introduced leaderboards, although they didn't really measure skill as much as they did how much time you wasted on this game. It even added a bunch of new content in the form of different game modes. Anything from double cash, random towers, faster balloons, or even something as ridiculous as the Mega Boosts game mode were all variants of the base game you could play. Battles
What
got
is happening
so
on the
playable,
right
in
side?
fact,
Why
that I
does
would
that
argue
person have a million sun
variants of
towers?
the base game you could play. Battles got so playable, in fact, that I would argue that at one point, this game became more popular than BTD5.
That's
which is kind of
crazy.
ridiculous to think about. The spin-off of the spin-off to Bloons was the current trending Bloon game. The peak player count of Battles on Steam was 2,500, 800 bigger than BTD5's. And while this might not be a full
Whoa.
representation
Only 1,000 peak? I thought it would be more. I thought Bloons was like really popular. One thing, this game has mobile ports as well, right? So just looking at Steam counts doesn't make sense because a lot of people would play in mobile as well. So that might be distorting the, yeah. Oh yeah, this makes more sense. 53,900 peak with 10,000 24-hour peak. 8,000 playing right now. Yeah. Okay. Bloons TD6 is very popular. How about Bloons TD5? Yeah, this game was, compared to Bloons TD5, this had a really small community. And it was popping off in 2025, and then it kind of declined.
of the player base.
Crazy
due to
how
only
much bigger Bloons TD6 is compared to Bloons TD5.
In PC players, YouTube view counts told a similar story. Searching up BTT battles on YouTube gives you videos with higher views than BTT5 does.
Damn.
The point being,
Whoa,
this
it had
game managed to
millions
find
of
an active
views.
audience, which is quite impressive considering how grindy the game was before this update. The Steam version of Battles came out in 2016, and the first update it experienced introduced emotes. There's no chat system anymore, but I'll take what we can get. Some of the emotes
It
are
turned into,
weirdly
like,
intimidating,
Clash Royale.
like this one, which is only available in the battle screen. What are you even pointing at? I don't know what emotion I meant to experience here.
You're
And then
challenging
there's
your
the face
opponent.
palm. If someone spammed this at you, then you might as well surrender, because I swear to God, every time I saw it, I felt like I was doing something horrible.
I swear, gaming companies thought emotes are gonna make things much less toxic, so they removed chat and put like emotes only. I think that it's the same in League of Legends, where you can kind of turn off chat and keep just the emotes. But I swear, people who spam emotes are way more toxic than people who actually write in text. Like, I used to play a bunch of Clash Royale, and the sticker spams used to be crazy. Like, holy. Especially the hee-hee-hee-ha one. I love that one, but I also hate that one, especially when someone is spamming that at me while I'm terribly losing.
Was also the people who spammed hi. I can't tell if this was the latest toxicity meta or a cry for help using Morse code, but it's safe to say this update added a lot to the game. It wouldn't be until June of that year when card battles was finally added to the game.
I swear, Orange and I are on the same wavelength. I'm predicting so many things he's about to say. I just told you guys about Clash Royales, and here we are.
I
It's
never
kind of
personally
funny.
liked card battles. As the main side mode, it was always going to be less popular than the actual game, but there are some die-hard card fans out there. This game mode itself is really creative. Your loadout consists of a bunch of cards rather than towers. Each card
Yeah,
lets you
they're
place a
literally
tower
like
or
Clash
send out
Royale.
certain balloons depending on whose screen you use it on. This system encourages a lot of thinking, since you have to make sure your deck has cards with both defensive towers while also having good rushes you can send to your opponent. And while I see the appeal, I don't really like card battles that much. You can't upgrade your towers in card battles, which means you're stuck with whatever monkeys you placed down. You also can't send any balloons out that aren't already in your deck, making big balloon rushes impossible as you're restricted to what the game lets you send.
Yeah,
These
makes it less
limitations are the
creative.
reason I never got into it, but then again, it's not a bad mode. One of the
I mean, this would have been easy to fix. Why not just have cards that allow you to upgrade your normal monkeys into better monkeys? And you just make it pretty much like normal battles, but with cards. Oh, I think the trash guy is here. I'll be right back. I need to put the trash out. Yeah, but why not just put cards in here which allows you to upgrade your monkeys? That would just allow for so much more variability, you know, and make the game so much better. It would pretty much be like normal Bloons battles, but with cards.
Cards you can have is called the kidnap card, and I kid you not, it kidnaps your opponent's towers and takes them away in a helicopter.
No!
But all this was just the
Don't
calm
kidnap my
before the
monkey!
storm. Despite all the side game modes, the main game still followed the same dart farm chipper meta, and due to Ninja Kiwi's reluctance to make balance changes, it would stay that way for the next year until update 4.1. This update completely changed how the game was played. Updates would usually be fairly small, like the addition of the banana farmer, the downward spiral, fast cooldown ZOMGs, and Clash of Clans. And then along came update 4.1, the first real attempt at a balance change. This update was so controversial that not even Sam
Yikes.
from Ninja Kiwi made a video
Oh
on it.
no! They were so embarrassed that even Sam said, nope, I'm not making an update video on this. I can't.
The nuclear fallout that was about that. They brutally murdered the blue chipper in this update, okay? The chipper went from an absolute god to a tower that everybody forgot about, including Ninja Kiwi themselves. The blue chipper will now no longer suck up ZOMGs. These words were so devastating that I dropped the dramatic act, and honestly, looking back, this update wasn't that bad. Some of the buffs were really weird, but you can't blame them for trying. I framed this update as some kind of game killer, but honestly the game got better after this point, as new strategies became viable. The ninja went from being useless to being useful.
So we only hated the fact that the balloon sucker thing got debuffed.
Became better, and even the boomerang ability can now hit camo balloons, which is cool. But yeah, people were pissed off. By searching the 4.1 update on YouTube, you get thumbnails that look like this. But even so, half the comments on these videos didn't seem to mind the update. I seriously love this update. I have used more different strategies in one day than in 1 year. Not a perfect update, but it's a step in the right direction. Researching stuff like this reminded me that most people don't really care about silly stuff like battles balance changes. You'll have the one guy threatening to kill the developers because they touched his favorite tower, but most people just go wow. From this point onwards, more balance changes.
I think it was just one guy who really liked the balloon sucker machine. So when they nerfed the balloon sucker, he just went ballistic against Ninja Kiwi, started making multiple accounts, sending death threats and everything. I think it was just this one guy who really liked that.
Or they would do the most random change, like increasing the wizard's fireball size by 20%. In my opinion, this next era of battles was its best. It had a few mediocre updates, but for the most part, it was a lot of fun to play the game in 2017. This is also the part where tower skins were added. You had candy banana farms, or the ninja, but then there's the bomb tower one, and I don't think I've seen a
like
worse
not pay
skin
to
in
win, but like payable skins.
any game ever. All they did was add a green border around the bomb tower, and that's it. That's the skin. 3 months later, a map contest would be hosted where a player-made map was added, and it is awesome to play on. I love it when community-made maps
looks such a cool. That's like such a cool map.
Meanwhile, in the community, people were having an intense battle for the highest round. Previously, the highest round ever achieved was 333 in a video posted by Ereklo. However, this record was made before the chipper was nerfed, and before they severely buffed Moab health scaling, making getting to round 100 extremely difficult. So now there was a new race happening. Who would get the newest highest round? And to answer that question, let me introduce you to a certain bug. For whatever reason, the call to arms ability, which made monkeys attack faster, would stack in BTD battles. This meant if you put enough villages around one tower, it would start shooting at hypersonic speeds. This by itself was pretty powerful.
Okay, that looks wacky.
Capable of defending BFBs. But that's not the best way to use this bug. If you surround an engineer with villages, this happens.
Whoa! Whoa! That's so many turrets! It's always the exploits that make the world record. Like, whoever holds the world record is probably the guy who finds an exploit.
opponent saw what my sentries did to the ZOMG, he just surrendered. And like, yeah, what the hell are you even supposed to do against something like this? But even the engineer wasn't the strongest tower to use this on. No, that tower would be the Spike Factory. Combine the Moab damage spikes with an endless supply of spikes, and you have a combo that prevents anything from getting by. Now, I don't have any evidence or footage of this next event happening, but I swear it did. Someone tried going late game with Spike Factory and Village on the Mines map. They got to an absurdly high round before dying, but it wasn't the Bloons that killed them. In fact, all the Moabs on screen were getting completely obliterated despite their high health. The reason this guy died was not from Bloons, but because his game crashed from all the spikes on screen. This strategy was so strong that it was capable of crashing your computer, though obviously it was fixed next patch, and unfortunately I can't find any other late game videos using this strategy, so now we'll never know how powerful those spike factories actually were, or if I'm even telling the truth about this story existing. But anyways, back to Ninja Kiwi.
Like after a certain point the game will crash. There's no way that like the code can handle all of that spike factory. So we can consider that guy as the world record holder, whoever made that video.
Alongside new maps, the game kept on getting more and more balance changes, making previously horrible towers like the Wizard actually good. It really felt like the developers were trying to make the game more competitive, which was definitely a good thing as it meant more and more towers were becoming usable. They even added an in-game tournament mode, which let them host an actual battles tournament, which is where the previously mentioned Cobra strategy came from. Also, you can now finally host to send Eco Bloons. That's right, for a full...
Do we still have Bloons esports right now? Like, is there Bloons TD6 esports that I can watch right now? Because that would be pretty cool.
4 years. If you wanted to send pink Bloons, you had to rapidly tap your screen or break your fingers.
What is Sam doing?
And that all confuses me. For all
Sam
these
is grinding
updates, you can
Bloons.
tell the developers were trying to make the game better, and at least try.
There was a boss tournament before? That's really cool. I love watching esports, like any kind of esports. I feel like I would really like Bloons esports as well.
Listen to the community when it mattered. They changed the game from obscenely pay to win to you can unlock every tower, including the Cobra, in a few hours. From all the positive updates the game was getting,
in a few hours?
they at least slightly cared
How
about
long did the Bloons battle go on
then
for?
Update 6.0 dropped. If Battle Arenas made this game playable, then the Powers update turned it into a pay-to-win mobile game again. You see the Tower and Bloon boost? This update added alternate versions of them, some of which were stray upgrades. The only way to unlock these new powers was to either pay up or grind 10,000 hours.
No! Not pay to win!
Of this game just got an update.
I swear, Ninja Kiwi makes the most perfect decisions, make the most perfect games, have the most perfect communities, only for them to show up with like pay to win options and like kind of make the entire community turn against them. Like, what's up with that?
Stronger versions of already existing powers behind the paywall. The regular Bloon boost only increases Bloon speeds by 20%. Meanwhile, Bloon snipe increases them by 50%. But that's not the worst part of the update. The worst part were the replacements to road spikes added, all of which were so powerful that pretty much everything on this tree is stronger than the base road spikes. You had stuff
that is
like
actually
Monkey Glue,
unfair.
which could slow down multiple...
You should never have like pay to win options in like competitive games. Like, that instantly makes it unfair, right? Because if you are playing against someone and that other person is like rich as hell and just bought every kind of upgrade, now you're kind of fucked. Only because you're
Bloons,
poor.
How about this
You don't have money.
Storm, Spike Storm, and this lightning bolt thing? Getting rushed? Oh, don't worry about selling any farms or managing your money or doing anything really. Just plop down the lightning bolt and you'll be completely fine. With how broken some of these road powers were, not having them meant you were at a severe disadvantage compared to your opponent.
Pay
and
to
again,
win, Monkey
the only
Gaming.
way to unlock these powers was to earn XP by playing games. So if you wanted to get these better powers, you'd have to repeatedly play multiple games, losing over and over again, just so you can have a fair chance at winning against your opponent. What a scummy way to force people to buy something.
That
Not
is-
even the
yeah,
wiki
that
likes
is
this
really
update, which is
scummy.
kind of funny. It's so weird how Ninja Kiwi did so much to make battles a great game.
Like,
and
it's
then
okay,
suddenly-
it's okay to put pay to win options. Like, it's still not okay, but like if it's like a single player game and you put like options of pay to win, it's still fine. because then it's your choice to either grind the game or buy and skip the grind entirely, whatever. But if you do that in a competitive game where you're playing against someone else, then you're literally making the game unfair. Because whoever is willing to spend more money, it just becomes the better player, and that's just awful for esports.
Backtracked on all of it in a single update. Hell, in a hotfix they even made the regular tower boost worse just so that the stronger powers look better by comparison. It's just not fun when everyone either doesn't or has access to ultra powerful abilities. They even added more in another update, letting you do stuff like completely stun your opponent's towers and you can't fight back and then you die.
Can't use ability when it's knocked out? Okay, sick. Like, what am I playing, man? What is this?
Yeah, that sounds annoying.
But I will say this, Update 6.0 came out 4 years ago now, and in that time powers got a lot of buffs, nerfs, and are now banned in certain arenas, so the base game is still here if you want to play it. And the fact that people still play the game despite the powers update makes me think that I'm either missing something or that powers aren't as horrible as they were online.
I would bet a lot of these people who still play the game are people with a lot of money, who can afford the powers and just enjoy destroying anyone without the powers because it gives them like a power trip, literally.
Regardless, I stopped playing the game by this point, but what surprised me is how much the game changed since then. Like I said, powers are banned in Ceramic Crucible, so the base game is still accessible, but similar to BTD5.
Also, how far in are we? We are at 1 hour 36 minutes. So we have completed almost 1.5 hours and we're still not at BTD 6. He's really edging us with that one.
Constant
I wonder
map
when we are
updates
gonna
and
reach
even balance
BTD
changes
6
as well. Like, I'm recording
in this
this
video.
on December 17th, and 2 days ago they did more balance changes and a new map. Noteworthy ones include the
Of course, it's
blue
a
ship
Christmas
camo,
update.
sentries don't
They love
block their
Christmas
towers,
update.
left-handed boomerangs, and Moabs drain a lot less eco than before. And wait, Glue Gunner can hit Moabs now? What?
Hell yeah.
I know they
I love
stole
this power.
concept
I
from
use it a
BTD6,
lot
but
in
wow,
BTD6.
that one really shocked me. For the longest time, this tower was completely useless, and now there's actual strategies that people use involving the Glue Gunner. This is basically like adding a completely new tower to the game. You went from an option no one would ever consider to something that's actually usable. There's also Sandbox mode, which lets you test what tower combos can defend what rushes, and it is really useful. It's really difficult to tell when a strategy can actually defend Bloons, and a lot of the time it's 90% guesswork.
Wait, we
So
got
having the
sandbox mode in this game and not Bloons TD5? Because I would think they would give sandbox mode to Bloons TD5 as well. Because we have sandbox mode in Bloons TD6 as well, right? To test out strategies for a map.
to test it is really helpful. Then there's Professor Evil, who's essentially a weekly challenge mode. Like Sandbox mode, Professor Evil really helps you get better at the game as you're sent multiple massive rushes and
I
told,
got
"Go
Geraldo?
ahead,
Hell yeah.
defend." This is a really cool mode. The Evil Monkey Bar, I mean Professor Evil, has infinite health, so there's no point to rushing him, meaning your main goal is to defend anything he sends at you with a random loadout. But yeah, for the most part, this game got map updates and the occasional balance changes. It's honestly still a very fun game if you can get past the initial phase of unlocking towers. But by this point, we're in the modern day, which is a little too far. So let's time travel back to 2013 so I can talk about Bloons Monkey
Stop
City.
edging me!
This game is
It's
essentially Clash of Clans, but it's Bloons. And this time I'm not joking about that.
I swear, as I said, Ninja Kiwi sees a formula working and they're like, we are gonna copy that formula but with monkeys and balloons. I bet they saw Clash of Clans popping off right around this time and they were like, what about Clash of Clans but with monkeys?
Goes something like this. You capture a few tiles, which is where the tower defense aspect comes in, before returning to your village, building something and waiting long periods for it to finish. And that's it. That's the game. You have your little gems you can use to speed up the gameplay and a few other
That looks
purchasable
boring, I'm
currencies,
sorry.
as well as loot boxes and quests and balloon stones and invite your friends to get a supply crate. It's a grindy game. While Battles was an inventive take on the BTD5 formula, I almost feel like Bloons Monkey City is just a free version of BTD5. Admittedly, there is some town building aspect that's kind of interesting, but for the most part, these two games are really similar in gameplay. The tower defense part is is really stunted, as you can only place a limited amount of towers equal to how many buildings you've placed down, which
Oh,
take time
yikes.
to build unless you spend. Oh, just buy BTD5, dude. Playing this game is really boring if you don't already have everything unlocked. You'd be sitting there with all your dart monkeys placed and no
That
way
is
to
just
upgrade
sad.
them. You've already placed
Yeah.
and upgraded everything you.
This just feels like they copied BTD5, made it more grindy, and then put money options so you can lessen the grind, which is a little bit shitty in my opinion. There's sandbox in BTD5. Ah, I see. Maybe he
So now
skipped
the only
mentioning
thing you
that.
can do is wait and gain absurd amounts of cash you can't spend. But to the game's credit, there is quite a few creative ideas here. To unlock certain towers, you have to play what is effectively special missions. One thing I liked about Bloons Super Monkey is how it introduced new balloons regardless of whether or not they would work in BTD5. A similar thing happens here, although the DDT would totally work in BTD5 were it to be added. The Dark Dirigible Titan
the
is a unique
DDT.
Moab class balloon. Previously, every Moab type was just
I
the
hate
last
the
one,
DDT
but
so
bigger,
much.
But the DDT
It
is
actually
different.
gives me
It has
nightmares,
the
I
same
swear to
health
God.
as the Moab and only drops camo regrow ceramics, yet manages to be just as, if not more deadly than the ZOMG. It moves at the same speed as the pink balloon, allowing it to speed past your defense if you're
Yeah,
not
that's
careful,
the
but
most
worst
annoying part
is its
about DDTs.
resistances.
Why
To
are they
even
so
deal
fucking
damage to
fast?
this thing, you need something that can see camo and can pop lead and black balloons. Good luck finding something that can do all three.
Like
The
whoever thought about the DDT in the Bloons HQ was a sadist. They wanted to see people be in pain because there's no way anyone comes up with this concept if if they don't want to see people be in pain, because holy shit, I
best
hate
way to beat
DDTs.
the DDT is to use the MIB Village, as it lets basically every tower deal damage to the DDT. But yeah, the DDT is a solid counter to almost everything. And even the game argues it's the strongest blimp, as setting your monkeys to Strawn will make them target DDTs over the ZOMGs. The other new blimps come from
ZOMGs are
boss
at least
events.
slow. The good part about Zoms is they are at least slow. It's slow enough for you to handle them over time. But with DDTs, if you don't stun them or something, they are gonna beat your ass and they're gonna do it in like 2 seconds.
which are really nice. There's 4 of them with different mechanics that get progressively stronger
Ooh,
as
a
you
boss
defeat
battle.
them. And while these boss balloons are interesting,
boss
were later
battles
added
in,
to BTD5, so their inclusion here feels almost lessened, as it's not an
Hell yeah.
exclusive
So
feature
we have had
anymore.
boss battles
The
in
only other
Bloons
noteworthy
5
thing
as
about
well.
this game is the MVM mode and contested territory. The latter being a game mode where you compete for the highest round, and the former being battles if battles was horrifically disfigured. And why the f are you building a blimp? I thought the whole point of this game was that Bloon bad and Monkey good. Why are you
Yeah.
building it? What are you doing? Are we the bad guys? Did we make the Bloons just so we could kill them for fun and destroy cities of Monkey? I know absolutely nothing of the hot air balloon mobile lore, but maybe the Monkey Baron guy was onto something. We are the bad guys.
Maybe.
We pop, therefore we are. He probably said that. That game has to have a villain speech at the end. Like, you literally kill a man at the start. Surely he has something to say about that. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Monkey City game, bad. You like it, that's fine.
Yeah, what's up with us building the blimps? Like, do we make the balloons so we can kill them? Is that like something that the monkeys do for fun after they killed? Oh, I know the lore. I bet the monkeys became sentient. I mean, the monkeys are sentient. The monkeys became super intelligent. They killed all the animals, made some of them their slaves, like the Beastmaster, and then because they had no one else to kill, they started making their own balloons so they can kill them for fun and satisfy their insatiable hunger for death. I bet this is the lore.
Kiwi hasn't updated it since 2016, so dead. Music is awesome, music really good. I like the Street Party, go play BTD5 or 6 if you're not currently living
Necromancer!
in 2016. Because in 2016,
Necromancer
Bloons
mentioned,
Super
let's
Monkey
go.
2 was about to release.
Oh.
And you might be thinking, didn't you already talk about this game before? No, you stupid idiot. This game is obviously a different game than this one, despite having the exact same name implying otherwise. This
Bruh.
game has so many more levels with new mechanics and new bosses.
Why not just
Anything
name
from
it Bloons Super Monkey 3. Did they forget that a Bloons Super Monkey 2
This
exists?
phoenix blimp, snake blimp, this ice monkey, gorilla thing, shield thing, cool looking ceramic guy, a ZOMG
This does
with
look fun,
hands,
though.
a fake monkey god, Bloonarius and Blastopopolis as the final boss. The Flash version only had 20 levels. This one has 100, which is kind of insane. Although the gameplay is mostly the same as the Flash version, so there's not much else to talk about.
They don't know how to
Then
count,
they released
maybe.
BTD5 on the PS4, which... okay, it's cool that this is a thing, I guess. But I don't want to think about how Micro would work with a controller. So, moving on. The moment you've all been waiting for. The game that made me want
Let's
to make
go!
this video in the
Finally, after all the edging, we get Bloons TD6 in 1 hour 42 minutes. Okay, so we are gonna get 1 hour of Bloons TD6. Hell yeah. Let's fucking
place.
go.
On April 2nd of 2015, the trailer for Bloons TD6 was dropped. Wait a minute, this isn't BTD6, what the
Yo,
hell
what the fuck is this?
This is BTDX, a Bloons fan game made in November of 2017. That's right, people were so starved of Bloons
Bruh.
content that this guy made his own game. And it's actually really good. I won't go too much into details
That's
since
cute.
it's just a fan game and not anything official, but there is some important stuff to cover here, especially considering it's probably the biggest Bloons fan game. Well, except for this
Orange is gonna edge us again with some fan games before we jump into Bloons TD6. That's okay. That's okay.
one. And that one. BTDX adds a bunch of new towers and many more Bloons to the game. One of them being the alchemist monkey who can turn leads to paper, make money off of Bloons, and even buff other towers. How cool. The other epic game mode is
This
the
is
time
cute.
trial. Instead of slowly playing each round one by one, you can now speedrun the game and send out all the rounds at once. I really like this mode. It's a nice change of pace from the normal game, where your objective is to be as fast as possible
Oh, hey, Blade
instead
Trap.
of sludging through the
Geraldo
same
got
90
that.
rounds again. Then, out of nowhere, a BTD6 teaser dropped in May of 2018, showing lots of hidden info
Let's
and
go.
codes. The hidden codes were written in the Monkish language introduced in Monkey City. But why is the druid framed like some kind of found footage monster? This is the kind of thing that would appear for half a second on those VHS ARG videos.
That is-
not the
that is
next
cool, though.
BTD6 tower. Oh yeah, sorry
go.
for spoiling the new tower. The druid actually stole the wizard's lightning and the tornado upgrade, which is not very nice considering the wizard only got this boring archmage upgrade.
And Necromancer.
Okay, I changed my mind. This guy is really strong. The other new tower was teased in the next trailer, and little did
Hell
people
yeah.
know how broken the update
Yeah, the
being
Alchemist
showcased
is
was.
OP.
But really, which one of you copied who? This is literally the same tower down to the name. You both even have that random alchemist puddle upgrade. This is not a coincidence.
Oh, that's why the fan game was so important. They kind of took the idea from the fan game.
You both even have that random alchemist puddle upgrade.
That's-
This is not a
that's nice.
coincidence. Who did it? Which one? Which one of you did it? Oh look, the game released a week later. People really hated it. Initially,
Oh.
the PC port didn't come out until half a year later, and the review page for this game was mixed. People were not happy with BTD6. Apparently, the
yikes.
game was laggy. Apparently, it wasn't. The engineer, mortar, and balloon chipper were missing. And where is the Dartling Gunner? Why is the chipper not in this game? What the hell?
We
This is a
still don't have Chipper, right? Marmonkey? Is Marmonkey like Chipper?
straight downgrade from BTD5. This game also doesn't have co-op mode, which is a shame. I was really looking forward to playing the laggiest game of 2018. You know what I really hate though? I didn't mind the removal of road spikes since they kinda felt like a crutch, but why on earth do abilities have cooldowns now? Previously you could use the ability instantly when it was bought, but now you have to wait for this silly little cooldown. But eventually
True,
people
but I
warmed
don't-
up
I
to
don't
the new
mind the
game that
cooldown.
introduced a third path and a fifth tier for every tower.
Oh, yeah.
Effectively adding a new tower for every tower, because that's how different these new upgrades were. The Dart Monkey
Wait,
got
The skin that this
Powerful.
person is using, that's like the
a third
class.
path and a fifth tier
Wait,
for
wait.
every tower. Effectively
Look at the skin. Look at the skin of the Moabs. It's like the classic, the 4 ceramics riding on this balloon. You can get that? You can get like classic skins for the Moabs? That's pretty cool. See, now that I know the lore of Bloons, I can recognize these patterns.
adding a new tower for every tower, because that's how different these new upgrades were. The Dart Monkey got a crossbow, the Sniper
love the
can
crossbow.
shoot really fast, and the Super Monkey got Ninja QE in court. Then there's the cross paths, which multiply
It's
the strategy
literally
by
Batman.
4. In BGD 5, a base 2-tier Dart Monkey can have longer range and sharp shots, which is fine, but there's
I
not much
wonder how Ninja Kiwi got away with the Batman, because it's literally Batman. Now they can argue it's just a superhero in a black costume who uses like shurikens and not Batarang, so technically they can argue it's not Batman, but
complexity
let's be
there.
honest,
In
it's
BGD
Batman.
6, well, there is 3 paths, you can only choose 2 at a time. A base 2-tier Dart Monkey could have long range and high pierce, long range and fast shots, or fast firing piercing shots with low range and no camo detection. In just the first 2 upgrades, you've already given the player 3 possible options.
Yeah,
with
I
different
love the
strengths and
choices.
weaknesses for each one. It even goes deeper with the rest of the upgrades. The Juggernaut could have shorter range and fire faster, or it could have long range and see camo. The Bio Boomer could have more pierce, or it could do more damage and pop lead. The Heli Pilot could fire faster, or it could see camo. The cannon ship could double the 5 powerful
pathing is
grapes
so
it shoots
fun,
out, or it
because
could just
like you can be so creative with your different ways of approaching a map. So
have camo.
like
yeah,
you
okay,
have
some
different
paths
ways
are
of
obviously
defeating a
better
map.
than others,
You just
but
have
I
to be
really like how
creative with
much
it,
these cross
and that
paths
is so
change,
fun.
even for the strongest towers. The Elite Sniper Monkey makes him shoot incredibly fast, but depending on which of these upgrades you choose, he becomes a completely different tower. There's even small changes made to the model, so you
Yeah, I
can
love
tell
the
which one
visual
is what.
differences
With
as
just
well.
these 2 Dart Monkey upgrades, you can make 16 different Dart Monkey models. We have come a long way from buying an upgrade and having the monkey be completely unchanged to every small upgrade bot having some sort of input on the visual design of the tower.
so
Of course, some people didn't like the new style they went for, but honestly, it's better than whatever the concept art was. Seriously, this thing looks like AI generated art. How did you manage that? One thing people tend to forget is that 6 made great strides in other areas that weren't just the upgrades. Sure, you have a few new Bloon types, but I think one of the most important features is the line of sight. In 5, it felt kinda odd how monkeys were able to throw their darts straight through bushes and walls, while in 6 the laws of physics have been added, preventing them
Nice.
from doing that. It's such a small thing, but it makes a big difference with how you play the game. The sniper can't actually hit the whole map if there's something blocking his
Yeah, the blocking mechanic is definitely really cool, because then you have to like get rid of stuff on the map to make the map bigger. Just adds more variables, which is just really fun.
sight. Unless, of
Oh,
course,
whoa. Hey, 40 Games, welcome to the stream. How's it going? I'm sorry I didn't see you there. I've just been so like locked in on the video. I hope you're having a good day.
him on high ground. Same with the sub. Although it can see the range of other towers, it can't shoot there if there's something in the way. Sometimes that obstacle is removable, but most of the time it's not. Which brings me to my next point. Removable objects. There's many ways around these obstacles, such as standing on higher ground, or just seeing through them with magic. But a few
Yeah.
of these obstructions can be removed at a cost. Sometimes you get more tower space by doing this, and other times you can kill your monkey sub. By the way,
Whoa.
this map will be important later, so remember it. On to
Ouch.
the heroes. The new
Like,
type
that's
of tower
ouch.
that levels themselves up over time. You could upgrade them manually, but it would cost the same amount as the entire Call of Duty collection on Steam. You can
Yikes.
also only choose one each game, making strategies even more strategic. Striker Jones can buff explosive towers, open
Yeah, I
buffs
love the
magic monkeys,
concept of heroes as well. They auto level and gives you more stuff the more early you put them. Just really cool. I
Quincy.
love their designs as well.
Quincy costs 700.
And of course, Quincy, son of Quincy, grandson of Quincy, probably the great grandson of Quincy as well.
$55.
I have been loving the Quincy memes. They're so funny.
And he can talk. All of the heroes can actually, so I recommend you turn it off because most of the dialogue sucks.
It does become annoying after a
Ninja Kiwi
point.
teased the next hero on their YouTube channel,
I am Quincy, son of Quincy.
but there was no point because
Bro.
some random guy on Reddit data mined the files and found exactly what the next 4 heroes were and an unreleased tower called the Monkey Academy. This one post showed us what the next 8 months of heroes would look like.
Damn.
Which is kind of crazy to think that they planned that far ahead.
True.
In another post, the
That
Ninja
just shows that the was really passionate, is really passionate about bringing updates. For them to already have pre-planned 8 months worth of stuff, that's
He
insane.
teased more details about Churchill, and it would all quickly be decoded. And why is Churchill planning a terrorist attack? In the same update, black borders were introduced, which is probably the most genius way to counter people abusing the home bug. It's so easy to leave the game if you're about to die and come back to the same round without any punishments. But see, Ninja Kiwi got people to stop doing that without fixing the bug. Getting every medal on a map gives you this cool black border, but if you beat Chimps mode while using the home bug, the border turns into this ugly yellow color. I've never avoided doing something so ingrained within me because it could risk ruining the cool black border.
That is smart. That is smart. So they did not remove the home button. So if people don't want to lock in, like me, like if without the home button, I would have not completed Bloody Puddles. I'm going to be honest. The number of times I had to reset that a bunch of rounds, I feel like if I had to play that level over and over and over again for like 20 hours, I would have actually like crashed out and given up and never played the game again. So I appreciate them for keeping the home button glitch feature, but also making it so if you do that on Chimps, you will not get the black border. So entice people with a new challenge. I like that. I like that. That's
a great way of incentivizing people to not save scum, while also not removing the option either. This update also had a bunch of balance changes, which includes an upgrade that was so bad at launch that Ninja Kiwi completely removed it and replaced it with something else. The final upgrade of the bottom path for the wizard used to be called Soulbind.
Oh yeah, I've heard about this.
You can use to sacrifice your monkeys, and it is not nearly as cool as it sounds. Whenever you leak lives, you gain a certain amount of lives depending on the cost of the tower you sacrificed. This is such a specific and confusing idea. Not only does it not work in Chimps, but like, how do you tactically lose lives? What if you accidentally die while trying to make a life profit? What a stupid $20,000 upgrade. So even after all the balance changes in this update, there was one hero that was...
The new Necromancer is definitely so much better with the giant-ass Necro Moabs. Like, I love the new Necromancer with the new ability
even
with
after
Prince of
all
Darkness.
the balance changes in this update, there was one hero that was objectively the best. And it's the same one the developers mistook for a man. Gwendolyn has the ability where any tower around her gets a permanent
what?
Took
the developers themselves didn't know Gwendolyn was a lady? How does that happen? They made Gwendolyn. So how did they get confused with her gender?
One hero that was objectively the best, and it's the same one the developers mistook for a man. Gwendolyn has the
You guys
ability
made
where
her.
any tower around her gets a permanent damage boost. This on top of the alchemist buff makes your towers completely broken. In this comparison from an early update, Oben dies to the new bad blimp, while the game with the Gwendolyn kills the same Bloon twice as fast. Also, I don't know why, but Oben can place his totems on land.
What?
Motherfucker.
He also costed $650, allowing you to start with him in Chimps mode. Oh, speaking of Chimps, it is one of the many new hard modes added to BTD 6. You have your easy, normals, hards...
Easy.
What?
Not true.
What?
But then there's stuff like
Wait, what did he say?
Not true.
Wait.
easy, normals, hards...
Easy.
What?
Not true.
But then there's stuff like
what?
alternate Bloons
What was
rounds that makes a quick reference to a meme you could easily miss, or the absolute cruelty that is half cash. But none of them compare to Chimps mode. Ninja Kiwi liked that Naps Frills challenge so much that they made their own version. No continues, hearts, income, monkey knowledge, powers, or selling. Basically, no farming, one heart, and there is absolutely no way to pay to win. No using powers.
I
no
like that. I
continue.
like that there's a complete all skill, no pay to win challenge. And that is the hardest challenge of the game. I love that.
Use no dropping your insta-temple to solo the game. Did you just use an insta-temple? Although I would never even think about doing that. I'm waiting for the Steam Marketplace to finally accept my insta-monkeys as a currency. At least in BTD5 you could always just spam super monkey storms and special agents on hard maps. In Chimps mode, there's only you and your monkeys. It is the true test of a Bloons master. If you somehow find Chimps mode too easy, which you won't, you can always try to beat Chimps mode on the 2 expert tracks, Muddy Puddles and a map literally called Ouch. These 2 maps both contain 4 straight
Wait, why didn't he mention Bloody Puddles? Oh, I think at launch they didn't have Bloody Puddles. I think that comes later, I guess? Making it even more harder?
And a map literally called Ouch. These 2 maps both contain 4 straight lines, and I don't think Ninja Kiwi themselves thought anyone would actually beat them. On a stream...
Sanchez asks, will expert maps on Chimps mode ever actually be possible?
Keep trying, yeah. Keep trying, it might be possible.
Which to me sounds like a no, but if
That's crazy. I used to think I used to think as developers, they knew that every map is possible in some way or the other in Chimps mode. So they tested it out to make sure that it is possible in Chimps mode, but it's like a very specific, very locked in type of mode. But they didn't even test that out. So even they don't know if it's possible or not. So it could have actually been impossible. That's crazy.
proved them.
It was impossible for a while. Insane that they actually made an impossible level. And even more insane that people actually found a way to complete it. I can only imagine how happy the guy was who found out a way to win. Chimps in like Bloody Puddles or Ouch.
We're on with that tax shooter statement back in BTD1, and we can prove them wrong again here. People tried many different setups, but no matter what, every combination of towers died fairly early on, until the 2.0 update. Due to a slight change in how the Dart Monkeys targeted Bloons, and you know, the addition of end of round cash, the Dart Monkeys were able to snipe the last red balloon before they leaked, allowing people to make it past the first round.
Ooh,
Luckily,
nice.
starting out was the hardest part, as people quickly realized you could use the unstable concoction alchemist to completely obliterate Moabs.
I really can't tell how much my unstable cock is doing.
You can destroy round
Your what? Say that again?
Obliterate Moabs.
I really can't tell how much my unstable cock is doing.
You can destroy round 100 from a 0
Calling concoction cock is just not the play here, buddy, but
G to nothing in mere seconds. And then they changed it so it
Whoa, a raid? Thank you very much. Who raided? Hope you had a good stream. Thank you, Butter Dabs, for raiding. Okay, let's go back in.
wasn't as strong anymore. Now that Ouch Chips was complete, it was time to move on to Muddy Puddles, and...
Oh yeah.
This map is a nightmare. The balloons switch tracks every round, meaning if you have defense on this side of the map, then it becomes completely useless once the balloons switch track next round. This map was so hard that initially, players didn't even care about beating it, only what the highest...
Whoa, they only made it to round 25?
So hard that initially, players didn't...
New highest round record in Muddy Puddles Chimps, round 25. That's crazy. Imagine... Oh, and it's by ESAB. Hey, we got ESAB again. This guy's locked in.
Didn't even care about beating it, only what the highest round they reached was. The tension was so...
Remember that guy? He's about to do something cool. Is ESAB the first guy to ever beat Bloody Puddles on Chimps? Because that would be really cool.
High that even Ninja Kiwi themselves was taking notes on how far players got, making the next daily challenge require you to beat the first 24 rounds of it with extra starting cash. But on a default game, no one managed to reach round 100, not even close, until one day enough was enough. And this ISAB guy decided that he would stream himself playing this map until he betted.
Oh,
and after
damn.
over 10 hours of gameplay, it was done. The hardest map in the game was beaten in the hardest mode, proving that it was in fact doable. Well, kind of. The strategy used heavily relied on RNG, and you had to pray Oben puts his brambles in the correct spot or you die. It was technically possible without backing out and entering again, but realistically no one's going to be that lucky. Support Chinook ended up carrying this game. I always thought this ability was useless, but moving your towers turned out to be essential on a map like this, because you can just move your powerful towers whenever the track switches. Beating this map was such a big achievement that the developers can be seen watching the livestream in the BT6 anniversary video. Man, seeing Ninja Kiwi acknowledge what their community does is strangely heartwarming. Now, all of this would have happened by March of next year, at which point all the leaked heroes would have been added to the game. And to be completely honest, BT6 at this stage is a completely different game from the version we have today. So for the time being, let's move on to the next game, which happened to release a month after BT6. And what is that next game? Well, Ninja Kiwi randomly decided to make a collaboration with Cartoon Network and made a Bloons Tower Defense.
Whoa, we had Bloons Tower Defense Adventure Time? Can I play that? I love Adventure Time.
Crossover, one of their biggest shows from the 2010s. Bloons Adventure Time.
That looks so cool.
What am I looking at? Who saw Adventure Time and went, oh yeah, I'd like to place down
that is so
the human to defend against the Moab class Bloons. The only information on why this game was made is this line from a Ninja Kiwi AMA where their response was that Cartoon Network reached out to them because apparently they had a fan of Bloons on their team.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, the Bloons come through this mysterious portal and invade the land of Ooh, because this game has lore, and unlike Hot Air Balloon, it's fully available.
It's on Steam? How much is it? What is it called? Okay, I might just play it. Adventure Time is one of my favorite shows, like cartoon shows ever. I love the characters, I love the show. I might just play this. That looks so interesting. I don't know why Orange is hating on it. That looks so fucking cool.
Not lost to time, and fully voice acted too.
Hold up.
Ooh.
They're Bloons.
I thought the characters would say a few lines disappearing after the tutorial, but no, they stuck throughout the whole game. Even the Dart Monkey here talks. They called him Max, so he makes Max-related puns, and I hate him.
This is the path to victory. Too bad you won't be around to follow it.
I take that
calm
back.
down, buddy.
No, I don't even care about the Hot Air Balloon lore anymore. Nothing can top this masterpiece. You have a monkey pretending to be a pirate for some reason, Jake from Adventure Time, and the ASMR monkey all on screen at once. They also made the Super Monkey a complete asshole, which is super funny. He's the Super Monkey, of course he's gonna be egotistical.
Yeah.
He lives in this giant house, he has his own Super Monkey fan club, and even the game says he's the strongest tower. When the reality you live in tells you you're the best, that's how you're going to act.
Those Bloons just don't give up. We need a leader.
That looks so cool. I didn't know about this.
Who can charm the Bloons into submission and who looks great in blue.
Well, we can't have it all. Ice King, will you
Yes.
hold my darts while I go find some?
As far as I can tell,
What was
there's
that
no
joke?
real end to this story, but for what it is, it's cool enough. The towers and characters all
Cool
represent
enough?
some
It
power
looks
from
so
the main
cool.
game, although you can only place down one. Then there's
has
the
custom
allies,
art
which you can have
too.
an unlimited number of. You'd have random Adventure Time characters.
I
mixed
love
with
the vampire girl. I have forgotten her name from Adventure Time, but I love her. It starts with M, I believe. What is her name?
monkey on the battlefield. And they added the Cobra to this game.
Hey, Cobra's
this
back.
game is amazing. Unfortunately, the only method of unlocking him is by gambling. On top of that, this game has the Bloons Monkey City system where you can only place a certain number of towers equal to the amount of buildings built. So if you've only ever gotten the Cobra once, you can only place him down once. And that's basically the game. It has a few cool things like the shielded Bloons, ghost and zombie Bloons, but other than that I found it boring.
Okay, I don't
guess
want
you
too
might
many
get something
spoilers.
out of
I
it
want
if
to
you're
play this
really into
game.
Adventure Time, but yeah. Interestingly enough, this game came out right before Adventure Time ended, so that's a gigamind way of getting people to download your game. I've been saying Bloons a lot to refer to the tower defense games,
Okay, what's
but the
this
last
now?
we heard of an actual Bloons game, it was 10 years ago by this point. That is, until June of 2021, when Ninja Kiwi dropped
shit.
Bloons Pop, a spiritual successor to Bloons. Okay, unlike the original Bloons, here every balloon has more balloons inside of it. This was such a difficult concept to grasp that Dr. Monkey appears to explain it to you.
Bruh.
So, let's see what this does. Hey, it's Jessica.
Alright, enough with these dumb mobile games. It's time to talk about a real game.
Let's
A
go!
real banger, you could say. Earlier I said BTD Battles was my favorite Bloons game, and that still remains true even if the game itself kinda sucks now. But after BTD 6 released, I couldn't help but wonder what would happen if you merged the two games together. But unfortunately they never did anything with the concept and instead just kept updating BTD 6.
Hey, Sam.
Wait a minute, what is that on the tablet in the corner? Zoom in, wait no, zoom in. Okay, the quality is horrible, but you can tell what this is. Two sides, Bloons Sends, and the
New
green
Bloons
eco number.
battles!
This has to be Battles 2. That's
Let's
the
go!
only thing it can be. People immediately
That
caught
looks
on to
great,
this.
by the way. With the new Bloons TD6 graphics, Bloons Battles looks amazing.
And the hype was so big that this video had more views than the ones around it. Most likely due to people double checking that they didn't just dream up this leak.
That's kind of funny. That guy has
I mean,
a
obviously
Charlie
you have to
profile
have
picture.
a bit of skepticism. Heroes sound like they might completely break the game. The idea of a tower that upgrades itself for free might not be the
Oh,
best
we
in
had
a game
heroes in
based
this as
around
well.
money
That's
management.
cool.
Well, who am I kidding? This is Ninja Kiwi we're talking about. They are not incompetent. They made BTD 6. Okay, I don't think it's physically possible for a great developer like Ninja Kiwi to mess up a great game like Battles 2. It's a game about popping balloons. You literally can't fail making that. And this would all be confirmed in a dev stream in March just 14 days later, where we learned that yes, Battles 2 is coming out soon, and yes, it will take on a more competitive approach to become...
What we want from Battles 2 is to be the greatest frickin' head-to-head tower defense game.
So is there Battles 2 or did they cancel it?
No pay-to-win.
Why does this feel like they're building the hype only to cancel it and we are gonna be devastated?
So no powers then? Correct, no powers.
This game was going to be so big that they began rebuilding it from the ground up. Instead of stealing BTD 6 assets, everything was recreated, reanimated and all that, just so Battles 2 can become its own game. And if you had any doubts on the balance being horribly off, one of the best Bloons players is supposed to be helping them with that. So I think we're in the clear. And then finally, after a long wait and multiple delays, the game ended up releasing 8 months later on November 30th.
So we got it! Nice!
Immediately, you are bombarded with small mobile game things. Daily Jackpot, Clash Royale, give me your money.
Oh
This game is free, and underneath all the mobile game craft, there has to be a good base game, right? The game is more focused on the competitive aspect. You can no longer stall the game out for an infinite number of rounds, because the match ends on round 40, and whoever has the most lives by then wins. Unless you have equal lives, in which case the game sets both health bars to 1, at which a sudden death mode will activate for 10 rounds. If you somehow make it to round 50, then the game will draw. Because yes, although it is rare, it's possible to tie in Battles 2. There's also this first blood mechanic, which doesn't really do anything other than tell you who got their opponent to leak first. But now that we've covered the new stuff...
Got your opponent to leak first is a crazy sentence, I'm sorry.
Tell you who got their opponent to leak first. But now that we've covered the new stuff, let's talk about the giant burning trash pile that this game is. Battles 2 at launch is something else. I could call it pay to win, but that would be lying to you. This game is a step above pay to win. This game is pay to grind. To unlock any upgrade past tier 2, you have to earn XP, and tower XP is gained by using the tower at an incredibly slow rate. There's no way to just buy all the towers. Instead, they added a purchasable VIP that helps speed up your progress. How kind. Even after buying VIP, it still would take you well over 100 hours just so you can play the game. But I mean, think about it. If people bought a one-time purchase that unlocked every upgrade, you'd only make a quick buck once. But if even after paying for the 30-day subscription...
Yeah, the Baron Monkey was definitely in on this.
They'll be forced to return and spend more money. As it turns out,
I wonder why they were so greedy with Bloons battles. Like, they did the same thing with the previous Bloons battles. They made it like really pay to win and like just ruined the competitiveness. And then they brought out this game and they also made it pay to win. like, I understand giving payment options to like Bloons TD6 and Bloons TD5 because you can like most of the features are like free to play and like single player. But why would you put like price options in your competitive game? That sounds stupid. Because once you do that, you make it inaccessible to most people who can't pay to win. And it's become super annoying for those people because there's going to be some guy out there with like a oil factory with like generational wealth who would probably spend like $100,000 on Bloons battles and will completely destroy you.
In your player base like cows.
Because the battle games are free. Okay, but so are most competitive games. Valorant is free. Apex Legends is free. Overwatch is free. What else? League of Legends is free. Every competitive game out there is free. The way they make money is they make like tournaments and they have tickets and then they sell skins. And I understand you can sell skins because they don't change how hard or easy the game becomes. But like making the grind pay to win just feels like greedy.
You can milk for endless cash doesn't work out too well, and the game lost half its player base within a week.
Yeah.
For some reason, people didn't want to play a game that exploited the fear of missing out at every corner.
Oh, yes!
But if you thought that was the end of it, then you haven't seen anything. The XP system requires you to place down horrible tier 2 towers, lose over and over again just so you can unlock a single upgrade. But in theory, if you had everything unlocked, then the game should be fun, right?
Wrong!
Let's start with the lag. If you weren't stuck in a 6-hour syncing glitch, then you were playing against someone using McDonald's Wi-Fi slowing the game to a halt. Games that should have lasted 5 minutes went
That would have been me like 2 years ago. I had terrible Wi-Fi. I recently upgraded my Wi-Fi to a different company who has much better Wi-Fi. But even when I was starting out YouTube and streaming, I kept getting disconnected because of how bad my Wi-Fi was.
And massive input delay for abilities like the Blade Maelstrom or any tower that required a micro like the Helipilot. The only part of this game that wasn't broken in some capacity was the soundtrack. It's like Tim Haywood didn't get the email about this game being a cash grab.
The music is always fire. Tim be cooking out there. Tim doesn't give a shit. They definitely pay Tim really well.
The game. And yeah, Battles 2 really felt like it was being held up by tape. The meta.
I bet Tim gets like a percentage of all the money earned by this game, and so the money that they got from this game excited Tim so much he really cooked like really good soundtrack.
There weren't towers that were good. The best towers were the ones that had a game-breaking bug attached to them, such as the tack shooter. For whatever reason, tack sprayer had one extra additional pierce and it carried over to overdrive. It sounds like a small thing, but it effectively makes the tack shooter twice as strong. But that's not the infamous bug this game is known for. The Dartling Gunner was such a popular tower that when it was added to BTD6, Ninja Kiwi changed the icon of the game and added him to their channel banner to reflect his popularity. But when the Dartling Gunner was added to Battles 2,
what's with all the glazing of Dartling Gunner?
Handedly destroyed the game in a way I've never seen before. The bug took a while to find, but when it was discovered, the effect was devastating. For whatever reason, having Laser Shock cross path with the Hydra Rocket Pods upgrade made the Dartling Gunner literally unkillable. And this time I mean it. This is what the tower can handle in BT6.
Okay, not too OP.
This is what the tower can handle in Battles 2.
Oh yikes.
Why are you thinking about it? Why are you thinking about it?
That's literally cheating. That literally feels like cheating.
Boosting. He boosted, I'm not boosting. The Dartling Gun is just too good.
While the overdrive may have been weak to lead and camo, Hydra Rocket Pods covers you on every basis except Moab's. I don't think you realize how bad a tower like this is. The whole point of the game is to rush your opponent to either force out more defense or win, but neither of the two is possible when a single tower can defend the largest of all-out rushes without a boost. And when the XP system sucks this much, everyone's going to be using this upgrade. After all, which would you rather do? 2? Struggle with your horrible tier 2 towers, or unlock a single
play
upgrade
Bloons
that can
TD6.
actually defend things? And that just makes the game slow and boring. You have to wait like 10 minutes for Moabs to unlock before you finally get a chance to kill the Darling Gunner. The tower got so hated that when I used a different strategy not involving the Darling Gunner, I got love hearts back. It's crazy.
That's
to me
crazy.
That the Darling went from the
I bet the opponent was like, thank you for not using Dartling Gunner. I have been sick of seeing that monkey. So I'm not even gonna play against you. I'm gonna let you win because of how kind you are.
most beloved tower to... Wait a minute. Is the sprite art for this Dartling the upgrade I think it is? Oh my god, it is. Laser Shock completely destroyed the Battle sequel, and here it is sitting smugly in the channel banner.
Oh,
did
yikes.
Ninja Kiwi know this would happen? Was this a warning? How did they predict their own game's downfall with a single image? What? Anyways, if you were high IQ like me, you could save $750 by buying Focused Firing, making it look like you have Laser Shock without actually having Laser Shock. There's a lot more bugs in this game aside from the meta-changing tower ones. If any of you watch Meet Good, you may have heard the joke of
Quickly DM Orange and crash his BTD 2 game.
What the hell? You attacked me while I was AFK? That's it, I'm turning my computer. This joke is based on a real thing that kept happening to me at launch. I would casually be playing the most interesting game of Battles 2 when suddenly I get a message about something really stupid and then my game closes. But
That's
there's bigger
crazy.
issues. Did you guys know that in Battles 2 you can place boats on land?
I'm gonna be honest. When I play Bloons, like TD6, I make sure to close everything in the background because of how much it lags. Like, I'm constantly scared that it's gonna lag so much that it's gonna crash and I would lose all my progress. So when I was doing the like yesterday night when I was trying to do the race event on like 100, I was so scared that it's gonna crash. I made sure every fucking application on my laptop was closed. I wasn't even streaming because I was scared that if I stream, it will my laptop would fucking explode. So yeah, I can understand.
Feature they added. The lag would get so bad that your eco began getting stuck and refused to send Bloons for 10 rounds. I don't think it has to be said that if you literally can't send Bloons at your opponent, then something is very wrong with the game. But hey, at least that slightly works, unlike Cyber Quincy's arrows, which pass through the Bloons when he fires a shot. The game had so many bugs that some guy on Reddit managed to find a bug for every single tower in the game. Every single tower was broken in some way. The Super Monkey Fan Club Juggernaut bug returned. Glaive Ricochet Glaives die when near a wall. Cluster Bomb explosions count as one explosion despite there clearly being 9 explosions. Tack Sprayer has 1 extra pierce, as I mentioned before. Ice Monkey removes Oben's wall of trees. Glue can target glued Bloons. And do you realize how bad this makes the tower? He is completely unusable as Glue will just target the already glued Bloons instead of slowing down new ones.
Yikes.
Elite Sniper buffs non-sniper towers. Nuclear Reactor has an icon bug. Pirate Lord can only hook in 1 ZOMG per round and will ignore hooking in any more ZOMGs after the first one, even if that blimp happens to be right beside it. Fighter Plane
How
does
is
not
this game
increase
this
plane
broken?
speed. Mortar's explosions sometimes aren't visible. Moab Shove doesn't shove Moab sometimes.
Bruh.
Dartling Gunner. Necromancer's spawned Bloons don't move when he's set to close. Okay, I know this one is a bug and all, but think how cool it would be to have it as a feature. Anyways, just using Dark Shift is enough to crash the game.
No! No! It crashed my game?
Using Unstable Concoction will crash the game. Sticky Bomb stacks on top of itself. Druid Lightning will often fail for no reason, making
I would genuinely crash out if I was playing a Bloons Battles game and I was locked in and I was winning and I'd be like, okay, time for a super mega double gun monkey. And I put that and my game just crashes. I would genuinely uninstall that game. I would not play it anymore. I would be so sad.
worthless in the early game as he refuses to use his lightning attack.
Crashing counts as a loss? Fuck me then. Yeah, I'm not playing. I'm not playing that
training
game if that
stats.
happens.
Attack speed buffs cause more spikes to come out of the spike storm. It can also crash if you use a balloon trap while your opponent sends a bad with the UFO skin, the game will crash.
Of course.
This is so specific, but it kept happening to me. Farm bananas.
I bet people were actually exploiting these. Like, people must have known the patterns of when the games crash, right? So if you can kind of trigger a crash in your opponent's computer somehow, you win, like by default.
Not get picked up by your opponent. And just as a bonus entry, Ocean Oben's trees would eat fortified bads in one go, which is... How did this not come up in testing? Was this game even tested? Probably not, considering just using certain upgrades is enough to crash the game.
My feeling is that they took Bloons TD6 and just reskinned Bloons battles into Bloons TD6 without actually testing the features in a setting like this, a setting like Bloons battles where they have like 2 screens and way more complicated stuff. They just reskinned it and didn't think much about it, which led to so many glitches.
Too deep into it, but eventually an unstoppable strategy was developed that took advantage of these bugs. Dartling Ninja Sniper.
Oh,
Sniper
yikes.
didn't actually have anything wrong with him, but the ninja sticky bomb stacking glitch let you handle fortified bads far into the late game, making it more likely for your opponent to die from lag than anything you send them. I suppose you could just play private matches and ban the overpowered towers, but no, wait, you can't, because neither of you will have anything else unlocked. Imagine introducing your friend to the game and they get greeted with this. Yuck. Now, this all happened within the first 2 weeks of its release in November. And I want to ask you something. When your game is so buggy that every tower is glitched, how long do you think it took the developers to release a hotfix? 94 days. 94 days!
I mean, I'm guessing they were not ready. I bet they didn't think that the game is going to be this broken. They thought all they have to do is take the Bloons TD6 formula and just apply it to Bloons battles. And now that they have so many glitches, I would imagine it would take them a long time to actually test out why things are going wrong and how to fix it.
Them to patch at the very least the laser shock bug. That's going from a release in November 30th of 2021 to a hotfix on February the 2nd.
I didn't play because Esab said it wasn't fun. Yeah, it doesn't look very fun. Like, if your game keeps crashing all the time and people are exploiting bugs all the time and it's pay to win, you can't even have fun because some guy on the other side spent like $10,000 and is destroying you with Moabs right now. Like, yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
2022. What a joke, man. Their excuse was that the office was on vacation for the holidays, which fair enough, but then why the hell was an unfinished game released so close to the holidays? Why am I even asking
money.
this to
Let's be honest, money. The reason so many people release games near December is because a bunch of people get money for Christmas or would like to buy gifts for people. So for them to release a game near Christmas, people would gift them to each other, spend their Christmas pocket money on this game.
Capitalize off the holiday season, of course.
Exactly,
we aren't. It was worth it because over 70% of the player base is gone, and that number's only going to get higher. But hey, at least when the patch came out, the game actually worked for the most part.
Okay,
Not only were a ton of bugs patched, but they also did a lot of balance changes, which is nice. Without the bugs, the base game is actually pretty balanced and a lot of fun. And even though the game is basically dead, it still has a large number of mobile players.
The animations are really fun.
Take that long to enter a match.
I really like the animations.
Now that I think about it, this one update fixed most of the problems the game had, barring the shitty XP system and weird leaderboards. It's why I have 200 hours on the game, because underneath all the crappy monetization is a seriously good game. After grinding for 100 hours. One of the cool changes was the decision to move docks and other obnoxiously long maps out of the map pool for higher arenas. Docks was so infamous for being long that in a later update they added a variation of it called ports, and it is terrifying. Not only is it extremely short, but the path diverges here and
So they went from extremely long to extremely short?
Blocking your vision everywhere. The biggest problem with this update is that it was just too little too late. Most people already quit by this point, and even though the XP system got a bit better, it wouldn't be enough to bring people back. And I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to return to a game where my first impression was this. The only way to regain
Also, why make a separate game? Why not just make this a feature in Bloons TD6? Wouldn't that be so much better? Like, just pack it all in like one game.
Players would be to add new updates, and to their credit, they did exactly that.
Because
Multiple
it literally
new maps,
uses the
all of
same
which
model,
weren't
so
that long, as shorter maps were generally more fun to play on than longer ones. Unless it's construction site. What is this map? The track switches every round, which means I've never seen anyone on this map make it to Moabs without dying to zebras first. And while maps and Churchill from BTD6 was cool, it still wasn't enough. Players were bleeding and the initial hype the game might have had was completely gone. Which kinda sucks, considering the issues that plagued Battles 2 at launch don't really exist anymore. The lag doesn't exist unless your opponent is on a phone that looks like this.
This is why you should rather take some time and release a good game than try to rush it out and patch it later, because there's always a hype when you release a game, and if your game is broken, you are just losing out on all the hype.
There's no game-breaking glitches, the XP
Also, Geometry Dash 2.2? Geometry Dash is getting a new update? That's cool. When is it releasing? I have never played Geometry Dash, so it got one in 2023, I see.
system is a lot more generous, and the game honestly gets pretty good consistent updates. In November of 2022, they added Pat Fusty to the game, stating that this one hero already in
Why is his name
BTD6
Pat
is the
Fusty?
final update for the
what does
year.
it mean? Is there lore? The origin of Pat Fusty. Okay, I'm going into Reddit. That was not helpful. That's just his name? Aw. I thought it would have like cool lore, because it sounds very random. So I thought it had like some secret lore behind his name.
A day before the new year, Sam comes out of nowhere and suddenly the game gets the Banana Farmer and 2 new amazing looking maps. That's
You
right.
know, when Sam's here, we are gonna get W updates. When Sam's not here, the update is gonna suck. Also, why is Quincy inside the furnace?
While you were celebrating some boring holiday, we were working on a big update for this dead game. This is insane to me. How is this game getting updated a day before the new year? Like, when does this happen? Seriously, looking into it, this game doesn't really have any major issues anymore. You have consistent updates, good balance, stable servers. Hell, Ninja Kiwi even supports tournaments for this game, despite its tiny
That is really
player base.
cool. Like, I really appreciate, they kind of rushed the release of the game, but I at least appreciate that even when the player count declined, they didn't back off and were like, we are gonna shut down this game, like people did with Concord. Like, that's a disaster. But yeah, I at least appreciate that even though they had like 900 players playing this game at a time, they still were like, okay, we're gonna give updates and balance it. That is really cool.
And yet, despite all that,
can
there has
respect
not
that.
been a single month where this game gained players. You would think that during the summer or Christmas, when people have more free time, there would be a spike, but no. It's just gone down,
If people were
down,
just playing
down,
a Bloons
down,
TD6,
down, which kinda sucks,
right?
but
Why-
what can
why
do?
would you play
It looks
this?
like Battles 2 permanently killed its reputation with that awful launch, which I guess goes to show that you probably shouldn't release your games in a half-finished state. But who knows? Maybe this game will get a comeback someday. After all, the original Battles took 2 years just to add battle arenas, so who knows what will happen in the future. Meanwhile, BTD6 was doing fantastic. In fact, better than it had ever been. BTD6 even stole a map from Battles 2 just to assert its superiority.
That's crazy.
BTD6 was getting a full-on contested territory update. Battles 2 got easily. Anyways, it's time to return.
See, everyone,
to
like,
BTD6.
the team behind BTD6 was doing so much better than BTD battles that people were just moving to BTD6, which is understandable. You will just automatically play the more fun game. Hey, Sam. Wait, what is happening? You okay, Sam?
If you've never touched BTD6, then the rest of the video is going to be me listing reasons why it's the greatest tower defense
Hell
game ever made
fucking
in
yeah,
Valorant.
let's
Anyone who
fucking
says
go.
otherwise. Despite the game telling you it's a tower defense, it honestly feels more like a sandbox game. If you want to spam wall of fires, you can do that. Fill the map with snipers. If it works, then you can do that. Wanna
Let's
go to
fucking
round
go.
100 on a random daily challenge using ice and glue gunners? Then you can do that. Or at least that's the impression I get from the community. Remember when Ouch and Muddy Puddles were considered difficult? Yeah, well now people do whatever dumb stuff they can think of to beat Chimps mode on an expert map. Why? Because they can. Like this guy who really wanted to beat the map using every tack shooter path. So he did. But if you're looking for an even bigger challenge that doesn't involve destroying your fingers with micro, then try the two new hip and poo challenges. That being 2 Megapops and 2 Tower Chimps. 100 rounds have a bit over 2 million Bloons worth of pops. And this challenge wants you to do all that with one
Yeah,
tower
I love the
in
challenges as well. They have I love tiny details in games. They have this one challenge where you have to defeat a hard map with just one monkey, which I did in Spa Pits with Pirate. Yeah, just the details in the achievements, the daily challenges, which sometimes are really wacky. And I use this random YouTube channel which uploads like solutions to daily challenges every day to help me with that because I'm not smart enough to do it myself.
Mode. Super
Chom, I love that guy. Who's Chom?
buff whatever tower you want
Who are you
and
talking
see
about?
if it can solo Chimps mode by itself.
Also, did the video quality just decrease by itself? Wait, why is it in 720p? What? When did that happen? Okay, this part of the video is just a little blurry, just because.
There's a surprising amount of strategy to this. Buffs like the Overclock or Ninja Sabotage have to be placed far away from the Bloons, since them stealing pops can be enough to end your run. If you're really crazy, you'll even...
How does that guy have kiwis?
The Bloons...
I want kiwis. Literal ninja kiwis. How can we get that?
Since them stealing pops can be enough to end your run. If you're
that
really
guy
crazy,
that did the
you'll even
Chimps
put
challenge,
down a
I
hero
see.
like Striker Jones in a place where he can't possibly hit the Bloons for even more buffs. It really depends on the tower you choose for this challenge. I did one with Adora on the second longest map and it was very much doable. But then there's the people who try this on the expert maps, which sounds absolutely impossible considering how unfair these maps are, and yet he just bet Chimps with attack shooter. At the end of the clip, this guy even posts it as a challenge in the editor,
That's
inviting
crazy.
you to do what was just done. 2 Towers Chimps is a similar challenge in which, you guessed it, you beat Chimps mode by only using 2 towers. This was less of a challenge and more of a test to see how many different combinations of stupid upgrades can beat Chimps mode by themselves. In fact, there's a full-on spreadsheet documenting every combo that works with this challenge.
Whoa!
Unfortunately, 2 Towers Chimps was kind of broken when not 1, but 2 heroes were added that had
Geraldo! My beloved. Hell fucking yeah. Geraldo mentioned,
of
I
beating
start
the game mode by
celebrating.
themselves,
I love that
letting
guy.
you use whatever random tower as the second one, which kind of ruins the point, but look, both of these challenges would end up being added into the game, not as a game mode, but as secret achievements. This wouldn't be the first or the last time Ninja Kiwi adds community creations into the actual game, but there's a lot of new content since we left
Like, I
off
love
4
that.
years
I
ago.
love how much they listen to their community, how much they allow their community to build maps and they use them as community maps, and how much they make challenges from these community maps. Like, amazing. I love games that listen to their communities.
The most obvious examples being the Engineer and the Dartling Gunner, who had Smash Bros level hype surrounding their release. I remember my friend calling support as a joke, asking them why the Dartling Gunner wasn't in BTD6. The response was that he wasn't the first to ask this question, and that they got calls about this almost every day. I'd say that sounds like a stupid hyperbolic statement that can't possibly be true, and then the Dartling Gunner video has 1 million views. Were these employees actually
People actually started tweaking when the Dartling Gunner released her.
Begging for the Dartling Gunner? Did they add him in just to make it stop? And then there's co-op. They added it into the game a few months later.
Will we get this? Will we get this this December? I really want to do a Christmas event in Bloons. I hope they do, because Christmas is my favorite holiday, and I just love doing Christmas events. I really hope they release like a Christmas event this December. I would love to do it, especially if they give me like a Geraldo skin. I am begging. I'll call people at Ninja Kiwi just to beg them to give Geraldo a Christmas skin this Christmas. Please, Ninja Kiwi, I'm begging. I'll stream your game the entire next year if you do that, please. Please do it.
Heavily requested that they start their update video with comments begging for co-op to return. Unfortunately, it is gated by a level cap, which is great, because no sane person should ever play multiplayer in this game. Not only is it more laggy than the base
It is
game,
a bit
but
laggy.
whenever
I think I tried
to play-
1 or 2 multiplayer stuff, and like it was reconnecting like every minute or so. I think someone's internet was terrible, and it was making every one of us lag.
Everyone disconnects and leaves.
Yeah.
Look, I get it. You can place down multiple heroes and multiple tier 5s, and that's cool. But is it worth going through the pain of getting stuck in a loading screen after the game ends? Why is there a sniper on the boat when there's plenty of... I don't get it. Why are you doing? But it's all made up by the fact that emotes exist in this game, and you can spam them forever. If you keep hitting the emote button, it seems to add it onto a queue of sorts, because if you spam it enough times, that annoying air horn will keep playing 20 rounds after you stopped emoting. This is most definitely a bug, but the fact that they haven't patched it after 3 years of co-op is what makes it awesome. The emotes were very obviously made to be as annoying as possible. They either take up the whole screen
there are some I actually got freaked out because I thought there was some glitch or something, because I was playing this one co-op game to do the co-op daily mission, and my entire screen filled up with confetti, and I was like, this game is breaking probably. I did something and it's gonna crash now. But it was just someone spamming an emote. Like, it's crazy that they have like entire screen
animation or
worth of like
sound.
emotes.
You can even bully children here with the crickets emote.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, why don't seagulls fly over the bay? Because if they did, they'd be bagels.
Clearly they were made
That is
by people who
crazy.
hate co-op as much as I do, so that's great. I'm still alone in this game. There's also the fact that you can name your monkeys, and it's always funny seeing what other people called their towers.
Wait,
The
you can
ability to
name your
mon-
monkeys? You can name your monkeys? I didn't know that.
monkeys, and it's always funny
That is
seeing
so-
what
so
other people
that is-
called their towers.
that's cute.
The ability to name your monkeys, as well as a few of the co-op emotes, are sold in the trophy
Which trophies you can? I don't think I have enough trophies, but that sounds cool.
store. I really like the trophy store. Judging from Ninja Kiwi's previous games, you'd expect this place to sell you skins for trophies, which you can spend $100 on. But in actuality, you can't purchase any of these skins with real cash. The only way to get trophies is to either be really good at the game and top score on leaderboards, or just grind a lot. It's a cool system because it means whenever you see someone with a lot of special cosmetics, you'll be able to tell that this person is either really good at the game or hasn't talked to anyone in 3 years. You have anything from profile pictures to more soundtracks you can
That's
play in the
cute.
jukebox to a Ninja Kiwi that spawns whenever you place a ninja.
Oh, that's how you get the Ninja Kiwi. With trophies.
Great
I
item
see,
to
I
annoy
see.
people in co-op with. There's also the Moab and Bloons skins, one of which is a reference to BTT4. If you look closely,
yep.
you can even see the 3D ceramics riding on top of the Moab from BTT3. Nice to see the developers proud of their history. They are also proud of hating Australia, as the flag is significantly more expensive than anything else
That's
in the
crazy.
store. But where do you get these trophies? Well, you could compete in
Imagine
the
being
weekly
an
races.
Australian, wanting an Australian flag only to get blocked by more expensive prices. Like, okay.
Which are literally the speedrun mode stolen from BTTX, or you could play Odysseys, which is the most boring mode ever conceived. But if you're cool
I didn't
and
hate
epic
Odyssey.
like me, then you'll play the boss events. That's right, the bosses from Bloons Monkey City are back, and more fleshed out than ever. Bloonarius appears every
Whoa,
20
what the
rounds
fuck is
starting
this?
from round 40 and ending at round 120, at which point he will have 3 million health.
That
You
screen
could
is
just beat him
tweaking.
normally and take your trophies, but if you want more trophies, you gotta compete on the leaderboard and kill him as fast as possible. It forces you to do the craziest farming strategies to make as much money as possible so you can sell everything, insta-kill the boss, then sell your defense for more farms. It starts with, if I'm going to sell my farms all the time, then I should definitely invest in a marketplace, as that path sells for 10% more than usual. And ends with, I should put all my farms next to a favored trade so that they sell for more, and also buy an engineer bloon trap, because that defends the bloons and makes me money, and also sacrifice towers to the Monkeyopolis, because it is vastly more efficient than all the farms, and I should overclock every single farm I have, slightly more money.
You need to actually learn capitalism. Basically, you need to learn how to make a ton of money to do the boss battle things. That's really cool.
So I can afford the Dart Paragon.
I suck at the boss battles. I tried it a few times. In my defense, I didn't have a lot of monkeys like unlocked, so yeah, I got crushed. The boss event I think is gone. It's not here anymore. I hope they give a boss event soon. I would like to try it now, but yeah.
And then sell him for more farms. Paragons are what would happen if every 5th tier was combined into one. These paragons are so powerful that at the time of writing this script, there's only 6 in the game. My favorite one has to be the Dart Monkey Paragon. Not only is it the cheapest, but if you're on a map with a lot of walls...
Vortex event is out? What's Vortex event? I haven't turned on my Bloons today, so I don't know.
It's like in...
We can co-op another time if you wanna, sure. Most of the time when I'm playing Bloons, I'm probably streaming Bloons. So if you see me streaming, feel free to ask me to play co-op. I would love to do that.
Encrypted, then you can bounce the Paragon's balls off the walls to deal more damage. But the coolest boss wouldn't come until a few months later in October of 2021, the Grave Lord Lich. Instead,
Vortex is one of the 6 bosses in this game. Oh, we got a new boss battle? That's cool. I didn't see it yesterday. I guess they released it today. I would love to do that.
Instead of copying a boring old boss from Bloons Monkey City, they designed an entirely new one.
Oh yeah, the one that I got was Lich. This was my first boss. Like, it was here like a few days ago. This guy's a pain in the ass.
If you have any, and I mean any buffs, Lich will steal them and gain health back. Same thing happens if you sell a tower. And at every skull, Lich turns invincible and this little idiot will spawn and he steals your lives and kills you. So for the first time, any tower that can give you lives is really good. There's also the Banner soundtrack designed specifically for this boss.
The music is going crazy mode.
The funny thing about Lich is that the buff stealing ability has a range, so if you hide a super buffed Mad in the corner of the map, you can completely destroy the Lich at his own game. This is also the same update the leaderboard was properly added, which introduced the strategy of spawn camping the boss with a permaspike. The best strategy was to apply every single possible buff to a permaspike.
It's just so cool to see the community come together and find these strategies, and no one even gatekeeps them. Like, that's my favorite part. Like, no one finds these strategies and then keeps them to themselves so they can chart the leaderboard. Every really good Bloons player I've seen, they make YouTube videos and they share it with everyone so everyone can do it. Like, the guy who found out the chimps strategy of bloody puddles with the cowboy guy, he just instantly released it to the public so everyone can do it, and he has this completely detailed guide of everything you have to do bloody puddles in chimps mode. Like, such a wholesome community.
The buffs and
there is some gatekeeping now. I'm gonna expect some people are gonna do that because they want to be number 1 in the charts, and like, you can't blame them because if you tell someone your strategy and then they defeat you and they become number 1, then that's kind of sad. But for most part, I feel like most of the community is really wholesome.
watch a lich get insta-killed by the fruits of your labor. You can also cheese the leaderboards by playing in co-op. I bet an elite boss with 4 people and that put me in the top 5 on the co-op leaderboard.
That's
you will have
crazy.
barely any competition as this mode requires you to have friends. The newest boss Vortex was cool, but
Guys, you wanna co-op with me so we can chart the co-op boards? We can try that. Oh hey, Vortex! This is the guy you were talking about.
by the time he was added, people got way better at the game. So much so that the occasional tower stuns wouldn't make him that hard or interesting. And because this game gets so many damn updates, they even added another boss while I was making this video. And I think he's my favorite. But back to Vortex.
What is
This
even
update
happening?
was a bit mixed in general, as it added the Engineer Paragon, who for some reason was missing the Bloon Trap path. Recently, in October, they added a Paragon limit of 3. Presumably, this was to force players to put more thought into what Paragons they bought, instead of spamming every single monkey they can get their grubby little hands on. Unsurprisingly, this addition pissed people off, as this is probably the least fun change you could make to the game. I mean, this is BTD 6. Where any strategy goes, and you introduce a limit to what you can place instead
I don't
of
hate it. I don't hate the Paragon limit. Like, yes, having the freedom to do whatever you want sounds fun, but it adds challenge. Like, you really have to strategize about what you're gonna do with your Paragons, and Bloons has always been about that. Like, because with the advanced challenges and the chimps which prevent you from getting farms and stuff, I don't hate it. I think it makes the game more challenging and so more fun.
I'm sure they got the best of both worlds. The limit was completely removed for the main game, but stays in boss events, which is a much better solution.
Yeah, that makes much more sense. Like, in the main game, you should be able to do whatever you want because it's literally just free play and you're single player. But for the boss mode, there's a limit, so you have to strategize, so the leaderboards are more complicated. That makes much more sense.
Complete backtrack or no change at all. You still get the spam Paragons and watch a slideshow in the late.
The issue with the Paragon limit applied to the entire base game, yeah, that would have sucked. I thought they were limiting it to just the boss event. So I was like, that's fine because you're making the boss event harder. But if you apply it to the base game, that's kind of not fun because you should be able to do whatever you want in the base game.
Game, while also forcing players to choose Paragons more wisely in bosses as intended. There's a surprising number of times when someone suggests something and then it gets added to the game. It's fairly normal for developers to take community feedback on their game, but it's another thing entirely to recreate someone's drawing as a map in the game. Geared was the winner of BTD6's first map contest, and wow is this community evil. Why did people vote for the map that would contain the most despicable mechanic? The map turns every round.
I haven't played this map.
Along with
this
it.
looks
this
cool
not
though.
only means that half the time your towers can't attack anything, but also changes how you think about tower placement.
I played the map with the vines, and I didn't expect the gears to like move around the vines. That is hard. I didn't complete the map, by the way. I don't know how to do it. I would have to like watch a guide or something. But yeah, interactive maps are fun. The next 3 maps are all community submissions that won a vote. That's so cute. That is so cute. Amazing that they are allowing. I mean, it helps both the community and the game makers. The game makers don't have to work hard on making a map, and the community can contribute to the game that they love. So it's a win-win, literally.
Will only work for a few rounds before he gets moved to the back of the track. Thankfully, you can skip the thinking process entirely by using any tower that can see full map range. The placement doesn't really matter if your tower is a helicopter and can fly anywhere on the map. This is the way I bet Chimps mode on Geared, by spamming snipers of all things. Both the Ace and helicopter failed me, so I resorted to snipers. At first it was mostly as a joke. I didn't actually think it would work, but then it did, and out of all upgrades, I used the path whose sole purpose is to make you money in a game mode where you can't make money. This is because over the years, Ninja Kiwi gave additional upsides to ability upgrades. Pirate Lord shoots more cannons and might be a bit too strong, and the supply drop sniper has more pierce. This makes spamming them a really good strategy, and the reason I was able to beat Geared on Chimps. I am never speaking wrongly about the sniper ever again. He is genuinely busted. They could have easily added this map without letting the gear turn, so seeing them go the extra extra mile to be as close as possible to the fan art is one of the reasons I love this game.
Yeah.
Another map I really like
is
is
really cool.
Cornfield. You don't have much space, but you can remove corn if you want to. The challenge here is attempting to beat the map without removing the corn, while finding sneaky
Yeah, this is something that I found really cool as well. I saw someone, I haven't, as you guys can tell, I just started playing Bloons like a week ago or something, and I am knee deep into the community. I have been having a lot of fun watching like Bloons YouTube videos and Bloons shorts, and one of the shorts that I saw was about this achievement, that there's a secret achievement which you can get by beating the corn level without removing any corn, and I think that is really cool as well. I love the tiny details so much. I know I'm repeating myself, but I just feel so wholesome and nice to like see a community of such wholesome, nice people, both from the game makers and the community itself.
Challenge, you should buy the Ultra Juggernaut so you can do this. But clearly the developers wanted to add something more evil to the game, because soon enough the map Cargo was added.
Yikes.
In the beginning it's a fairly
this
standard map. You have the Bloons, you have the path, and you have all the cargo ships as the name implies. Then the cars move and the Moab jump scares you as it moves on a completely different path to where you built your towers.
That is evil.
Map. They loved this concept so much that they reused it in an expert map as well. But no map would be able to compare to Ravine.
That's so
because
evil.
Ravine is evil in its purest form.
Oh, Ravine! I played this map and I lost multiple times. Did I stream it? I didn't stream it. I don't think I streamed it. I think I was playing Bloons casually and this map looked easy because it has like connecting paths. So I was like, this map doesn't look that hard. I'll try it. I'll give it a shot. I tried it with like the Juggernaut monkey and druids. I lost every fucking time. I think I tried it like 15 or 20 times. Lost all of them. Gave up. Didn't try again. Nothing works on this goddamn map. Yeah. I tried it. Yeah, it didn't work.
But there's walls everywhere. The trees block your line of sight. The bridge has walls. Even the water has walls around it. Any tower you place in the water is completely useless as it can't see anything. Unless of course you buy a $30,000 upgrade that lets you see over the wall. This map was so difficult that Chimps mode was impossible at launch. What's interesting is how they went about making it possible. This guy on YouTube called Jaja Josh created a custom game using the challenge editor. In it, he recreated the Chimps rule set on a Ravine with one small difference. Instead of starting with 1 life, he started with 2. Apparently, the only thing stopping players from beating round 7 was a single red bloon.
That's
and Josh's
fucking
theory was that
crazy.
if you could safely leak that one bloon, then the rest of Chimps would be doable. He was correct. As is usual with expert maps, the hardest part is the beginning. So if you could get past that part, it is very much possible to do the rest. So, how did they solve this problem? Did Ninja Kiwi heavily nerf the map to make it possible? Did they give you 2 lives
No,
for
someone
only?
found some
No,
weird
they did
glitch.
something way cooler. See this sword? I don't know why it was so
I know about this. I don't know why I got so excited. He's gonna say it, but I want to say it as well because I'm really proud of all the Bloons research I have been doing these past few days. You can click the sword, and the sword flies and hits one balloon. And I didn't know they did it to make Chimps possible, but that is such a cool thing.
originally, but now the sword is the only way to beat Chimps on Ravine. If you click on it 24 times, the sword will fly out of the stone and pop exactly 1 bloon.
Yeah.
The same bloon that makes beating Ravine on Chimps
That is
impossible.
so cool though. Like, they didn't try to nerf or buff anything, because I think that would have made a Ravine way too easier for Chimps, and then the whole excitement of defeating it on Chimps won't be there. But to get this sword thing, that you have to time correctly in order to hit that one specific balloon in order to win Chimps mode, creative as fuck. That is
I finally understand why their motto is more awesomer, because adding this Easter egg to the game really is more awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Community being the BDD6 community, people now try whatever stupid strategies they can after realizing chimps was in fact possible. When the game first released, the question for expert maps were, is it even possible to beat chimps on this map? But now whenever a new map comes out, it's how long until someone beats chimps on this map? There are now 10 expert maps in the game and all of them are beatable on chimps. But this Jaja Josh guy wanted to do more than just beat the maps.
Okay, Jaja Josh is locked in.
With permaspike. For some reason, he really liked the permaspike. It's a good tower, but it doesn't exactly have full map range, which can be problematic if the map looks like this. But he didn't care, he did it anyway. Every single map that was out at the time, he bet it with the permaspike. Quad, it was beaten with the permaspike. Dark Castle, beaten with the permaspike. But Ninja Kiwi wasn't going to take this sitting down. They went to the lab and released a new map so obnoxious that it can't possibly be bet with the permaspike. This is Workshop, and it has tables that
I thought Bloody
and
Puddle was
fairs that
incoming.
speed up the balloons and the nasty Moab path. And just for good measure, permaspike got 3 heavy nerfs in this update.
Poor guy. Poor Jaja Josh. He liked permaspike so much, Ninja Kiwi specifically nerfed it. That is so sad.
Added, but no one cares about him. At first, it seemed like they had done it. Ninja Kiwi had finally won against the stupid Spike Factory. And then 8 days later, Jaja Josh bet Workshop chimps by using the engineer to overclock the permaspike so that it was just as strong
Jaja Josh is
nerf.
unstoppable with the permaspike. I feel like even if they find a way to completely destroy the permaspike, Jaja Josh would find a way to bring it back. It's like me with it's like me with Geraldo and the Wizards. Like, you can remove the Necromancers, but you can't stop me from using the Necromancers.
Rendering was giving him an achievement based around him called Josh's Constant, where you must beat an expert track with
Permaspike was by far the most busted tower in the game for a really long time. I see. Makes sense. Makes sense for them to nerf it. But poor guy, like, he really likes his Permaspike.
Permaspike. This wasn't the only time.
Oh hey, they put his name in the game. Josh is constant. BB beat any expert map on chimps with 40,870 more spent on one Spike Factory. That is so cute. I love that.
You must beat an expert track with permaspike. This wasn't the only
Appreciating your own community is such a wholesome thing.
The daily raid achievement requires you to beat 365 daily challenges. The term raid being a reference to the YouTube channel Ethan Raid. This guy has been posting.
Oh yeah. I know about Ethan Raid. I have been watching his shorts a lot. He's really cool.
Every day to the daily challenges for the past 4 years, starting 2 months after the game released.
Oh yeah, I use his guides. Yeah, and like literally when you search for guides to do advanced challenge, his name comes out first. So really cool.
They wanted to acknowledge his commitment, which is definitely a cool thing to do. But my favorite community added meme is this map. If you give the internet a map contest, there's going to be a few people entering with troll submissions.
True.
And the most popular one that was spammed everywhere was Slons. I don't think I even have to explain this map. It has the shortest track in the game and a single pond on the opposite corner. It spawned a few memes, but most importantly, it got so popular that a fake update post was made by Sam Ninja Kiwi telling people that Slons is out. Which if you check the date, it obviously wasn't.
Yeah, it's an April Fool.
Slons was inside the game, just not in the way you'd expect. If you keep clicking the random map button in the challenge editor, eventually you'll land on Bloons. I missed it twice, god damn it. This joke
is so
of
cool.
a map is actually in the game, which is hilarious.
That is
What's
really
even more
cool.
funny is that it's actually beatable despite its incredibly short length. Turns out what makes the hardest maps hard is either the blockage of sight or its multiple paths, not the short length. Bloons has neither, so towers like the tack shooter can see the whole map, making it not as hard as you think it is. But still, they added a shitpost to the game. That is awesome. There's a lot of random in-jokes within the community that get added as full-blown features. Some of them you really wouldn't expect. Imagine, it's 2018 and you're on the Ninja Kiwi Discord. A bunch of users randomly began calling Striker Jones Biker Bones. There was about 10 people doing this, so
Oh, and that's how the biker bone skin came to be. That is so interesting.
Isn't anything massive.
So this is
Despite
how the
that,
Bloons.
one update, they just added him in.
Yeah. That is so cool.
Biker Bones is a real thing in the game, and it was born by a bunch of random Discord users. Some developers saw a stupid joke a few people made and went, wow, that is so funny.
I'm going
to draw a full-on design for this Biker Bones and give him custom voice lines. A lot of updates seem to be based around common things people ask for, like how Sada was added after continual requests for a melee-related hero, or the left-handed boomerang and double targeting for both of the Robo-Monkey's hands. In some update videos, they even show comments of people begging for something to be in the game before adding it into the game.
Okay, so if I beg enough for them to make a Christmas skin for Geraldo, would they do it? I'll even buy it. If it's like monetary and if there's money involved, I'll buy it with real money, but just put it in.
Base map from BTD 5 gets added, since a lot of people keep asking for it. That's how the Street Party music got added, so it wouldn't be the first time. One time people were having a war over the dumbest thing on the Bloons Reddit. God. This frozen monkey. Some people, being the good Samaritans they were, attempted to free the monkey, but no matter how hard they tried, they couldn't melt the ice. Probably because some people were trying to freeze the ice as well. Then, in the next update, a sneaky little patch was added where you can actually use a mortar to free the cave monkey.
That
and
is so cool.
The Bloons for you. This is a real Easter egg that's only available on this map. It's not like he's a useless tower either. This cave monkey can stun Moab, so it's absolutely worth it to get
there's a specific monkey you can only get on a specific map? That is insane.
This game has a lot.
That is
a
actually
lot of them.
insane.
A bunch of them most people don't even know about. You can unlock some visual changes that make the game really funky. Unlocking them can be as easy as playing 10 games with Pat Fusty, or as convoluted as unlocking the Alchemist Man and Bloonicle Boy achievement.
What?
You can make the balloons big, or the towers big, or small, whatever you want. I don't know why, but the big balloons is so funny to me. Whenever a blimp appears, they take up half the entire
actually
screen.
looks
But if you thought all this
shit.
game had was a few settings and title screen Easter eggs, then you'd be wrong. They added a hero called Adora, and she can sacrifice monkeys for some benefit probably, but that's not important. What's important is the transformation that happens when you buy the true sun god. It really isn't that hidden, but it's the first step towards the next secret. If you sacrifice the maximum amount of towers to a sun temple, then do it again with the Trun sun god after adding 2 other 5th tier super monkeys specifically outside the range of the temple. This happens.
The true sun god, I'm guessing? Yup.
Not only is it the strongest tower in the game, but it also looks cool. The Vengeful Temple is so hidden that you can't actually buy it in sandbox mode. You can only be summoned in an actual game, which is very cool. Even cooler is the total scenery change that happens upon summoning it on Adora's temple. Very fast.
Whoa! Whoa! It changes the whole map?
Is the total scenery change that happens upon summoning.
Okay, this Bloons TD6 might just be one of my favorite games. It has so much. Like, I love that. Like, who even thought of that? Because 99.99% of people who are actually gonna play this game are never gonna make a true sun god thingy in this map. So it's like so specific and yet so cool. Vengeful true sun god? Okay.
On Adora's temple. Very family friendly. While most of the secrets so far have been either gameplay changing or purely visual, the next one is just confusing. On cabin you can remove the car, prompting it to drive away. However, if you click in a bunch of very specific spots and then remove the car, a serial killer will chase the car down. What a fun reference. If you thought Muddy Puddles was a hard map, well, you're in for a real treat. Introducing Bloody Puddles.
Yep.
It's the exact same map but with 5 paths, and 2 of them are active at the same time.
Yeah.
The developers were so mean with this map that attempting to remove the truck for $1,000.
Yeah, I fell for this fucking. Yeah.
Yeah. This is like a digital middle finger.
It is. Like, I felt so betrayed when that happened because it's not even like a free Easter egg. You have to pay $1,000 to remove it, only for it to not get removed, and you have to pay an extra $500 to get it removed. Like, fuck me.
specifically so they could throw the balloon chipper in the trash. Apparently, balloon chipper isn't returning because it's hard to balance, being either extremely overpowered or just not fun to use. Poor balloon chipper, man. There's also this Candy Falls map where if you click the monkeys in a specific order, you play the Oompa Loompa jingle and unlock small towers. Although I don't know why this skeleton is here. I clicked so many random spots and all I got was this dumb skeleton that doesn't do anything. But the biggest offender for hiding secrets has to be encrypted. It's literally called
Oh yeah. More monkey knowledge because I'm locked in. I've seen a shot on this as well. You have to place 4 types of monkeys. So a magic monkey, a primary monkey, a military monkey, and whatever the 4th type is, the support monkey, on 4 places, and then you have to put the sun god in the middle, and then you unlock a god or something, if I remember correctly.
Encrypted. That has to mean there's something hidden here. And well, there's this altar in the middle of the map. Each of the coffins representing one of the tower categories, and you can only place that tower on said coffin. Seems like the perfect place to hide a secret, right? And that's what the community thought too. But after trying every possible combination of anything, someone decided to check the files and found nothing. There's nothing.
No, I'm pretty sure there is something.
Encrypted that has a sacrificial altar with a really specific game mechanic attached to it, and it doesn't mean anything or have anything special. Wow, okay. That's more shocking than if something was hidden here. Who knows, maybe Ninja Kiwi is just waiting for everyone to forget about this map, so they...
This vid is old? So when this video was made, people didn't, like, Ninja Kiwi hadn't added the Easter egg yet. Maybe, I wonder why they didn't release it on release. Like, because it's literally called encrypted. It literally has, like, 4 colors in the middle with a banana, like 4 colors on all 4 sides with a banana in the middle. Why wouldn't you code that in from the beginning? Were they waiting for something? They added it in a later upgrade?
Actual secret in later. But as far as I can tell, this map doesn't have any Easter eggs. The best theory I could find was that the altar hints at the process of obtaining the Vengeful Temple, which would make sense considering you do need one of each tower type for said temple. I've noticed a lot of maps seem to either have their own mechanic like Lotus Island and Sanctuary, or experiment with some idea like
this one. I tried this map and I failed miserably and I gave up.
A mostly water expert map. The 2 newest maps highlight this idea the most. On Midnight Mansion, you can't actually place farms or heli-pilots, so not only is the easiest source of money removed, but no full map crap either. You can fit 2 aces on these shelves, but their position makes them very bad. Not even the sniper works on this map, as there's too many walls for it to see
I haven't played this
though
map.
I suppose you could give them a vantage point on the shelves. But even then, at most, you'll fit 4 up there. I really like maps where they push the boundaries of player strategies. Normally people cheese hard maps by using full map range towers, and this map seems designed entirely against that idea. The other map added in this update was Covered Garden.
Oh yeah,
and
I hate this one.
You can tell it's a community submitted map just from how sadistic it is. 3 roof tiles rotate every round and you can only place
I tried this live, by the way. I think we tried this on our first live ever. Or second live ever of Bloons. And yeah, I hate this map.
Single section that isn't covered. Once the next round starts, the panes move and any tower underneath the glass is completely inaccessible. No upgrading, no target changing, nothing. You have to constantly plan 3 rounds ahead, otherwise you will lose. Thank God this map is actually fairly long, otherwise I might have actually pulled my hair out with this geared 2.0. Nonetheless, I appreciate the commitment to the panels moving, instead of cheaping out and not adding it. This contest had so many good maps that the developers couldn't decide which one was the best, so they added 3 at once. 3 horrifically difficult maps coming really soon. Only Covered Garden has been added so far, but the post assures us that the other 2 will come later. Dark Dungeons looks the hardest of the 3. It is an expert map that I'm not even sure is beatable.
We don't have this yet, right? Or do we? I don't think we do,
on the first round of chimps. The other map is called Erosion and it looks infinitely more mechanically advanced. Erosion starts off looking similar to Bloons but with a twist. Every round the sand slowly erodes as the water pushes
we don't have this one, right? Or am I tweaking that? Do we have this one?
more and more to the top right. I can already hear the screams of the dart monkeys drowning in the incoming water. Again though, neither of these are in the game yet, so it's difficult to determine how hard these maps actually are. If only there was a way to play custom user-created challenges similar to Bloons World. Oh wait, it already exists, and it's called the Challenge Editor.
Yep.
There is so much variety in the community challenges.
There's someone named Donald Duck in that
muddy puddles to a level
leaderboard.
made by a 6-year-old, and both of them could be selected for the daily challenge. We've really come full circle, haven't we? These challenges are selected from the challenge browser, and although it's not the map maker from BTD4, it does let you adjust basically every setting in the game. Anything from regrow rate to the balloon speed, more
That is really
health,
cool.
starting price, rounds, lives, restricted upgrades, how many upgrades, least cash, or how much the corn on cornfield costs. You could make a challenge with fast but weak Moabs that drop tough ceramics that are slow, or you could make a challenge where everything is regrow or camo or bolt. Or a challenge where the ability cooldowns of everything is basically instant. I even made my own challenge, and I challenge you to beat it.
Ooh.
My biggest problem with these challenges
try
is
that
that
one.
they are either purely like baits
Later.
or difficulty impossible, although this is hardly the game's fault and more so my own. The best custom rounds involve little known mechanics like the illegal strategy, which is now patched, but I'll talk about it anyway. You can create some really weird game interactions using the Snowstorm Ice Monkey, as he has the ability to freeze water, letting you place towers on the water. Freeze the water, freeze the water on the water, move the monkey next to the other monkey, and you have two monkeys holding each other up. This can also be used to sell towers, as any monkey standing on top
Okay,
of
that's
the
an
ice
interesting
on the ice
strat.
monkey
They
is
literally freeze the ice for themselves to go all the way into the water.
being moved
That's
will get
interesting.
destroyed. This also
They
applies
shouldn't
to
remove that. That literally feels like a really smart thing for them to do. Like a really smart feature.
the heli pilot moving the ice itself, so by moving the ice tower he is also destroying himself. This general idea can be used to sell towers in chimps mode if you're dedicated enough in getting all the setup done, which creates the possibility of a zero towers chimps, where you sell all your towers at the end and then kill the bad using a few permaspikes. Unfortunately, this strategy has been patched, although it still works with Adora. And now I'm
why did
done.
Adora
As
go?
of 2022,
Did she
that's
just
all
sacrifice
44
himself?
Bloons games covered. But what about the future? Bloons
You can just put Ice Monkey on water now? That's good. I think that should be a feature because he literally freezes the water. That's his feature, so...
Monkey City 2 does seem like a possibility, although I haven't heard any news that it's being worked on.
What we want to do with Monkey City 2 would be to reimagine it, so it could be a bigger, and.
Do you guys think we'll get Monkey City 2?
BTD 6 console is supposedly in the works because apparently people liked playing BTD 5 on their PS4. But other than that, I doubt they will release any Bloons games. In the beginning, they would create a new Flash game every month, but now the modern strategy seems to be to continually update their games rather than keep on making sequels. This past year alone has seen 0 new Bloons games, with the last one being Battles 2. There's also
I appreciate this way more than the strategy of trying to make a new game every year, because that makes it's harder on the developers to develop new games every year, and the game that you made, you work so hard on, doesn't get good updates. I would much rather have them make one good game and then they keep updating it over and over again to make it like a really good game. And then once they hit like an engine limit, perhaps they would like to upgrade to a newer engine or something. Then it makes sense for them to make the next sequel.
BTD 6 Plus, which is only
Have you
available
stood up?
on
Yep,
the
I have.
iPhone. It tries to sell itself as a different game, but it's the same game with absolutely no additions.
Yeah.
Ninja Kiwi has even confirmed that there will most likely never be a BTD 7, and that 6 is their last title.
No plans.
Why?
Just leave it at that?
Yeah.
No plans.
There's so much in the pipe for BTD6.
Yeah, BTD 6 is just ginormous.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I like that. I thought they just wanted to leave the Bloons TD IP. No, they don't want to make BTD 7. Don't you dare. I did not say that. I'm watching you. I know you want to say it. Don't you dare. But yeah, I like them having the mentality that they don't want to make Bloons TD7 because they want to have a ton of more stuff on Bloons TD6. I like that. Just keep upgrading Bloons TD6. We don't need a Bloons TD7 as long as we keep getting new stuff.
You probably have to go to BTD 27 after this.
Yeah, do you want to see Minecraft 2? It doesn't make
Exactly. Like, just as how we like Minecraft as it is because it keeps getting upgrades, it just makes sense to keep upgrading Bloons TD6. Hell yeah, I love that.
BTD6 rather than release a new game. Their end game plan for BTD6 is to make modding and editing the game a big thing, because at the end of the day, from more Bloons to BTD6, the community is what helped make Bloons great. As long as that part remains, it will be exciting to see where they go next.
And we done? That was amazing. How long have we been doing this? 4 hours, 30 minutes? Holy shit. Such cool lore. There's so many things about the community that I didn't know. And now that I know about it, I just really appreciate the Bloons community so much more. And the team and Ninja Kiwi for listening to the community and actually working on things that the community wants.